All right, a little bounce. I think the press briefing is starting. It is. It is. Nice. So, Chattadonia, we're here getting ready for PHILO. A wild day. There's actually Trump. Most people didn't report on it. Remember, Canada raised tariffs on electricity on us yesterday, and then your boy Trump responded today. That changed things up. We kind of sold off, and now we're getting back and forth drama. And now,
on the economy, February's jobs report was good.
So I'm going to get into PHILO in a little bit, but let's play this for a second, and then we'll move into that.
The manufacturing sector gained 10,000 new jobs in just 1 month under President Trump. This rebound was led by the automobile sector, where we saw 9,000 new auto jobs created already. That is the most auto jobs added to the economy in 15 months. This was a complete turnaround from the Biden administration. This was where we were losing an average of 9,000 manufacturing jobs per month last year. Reuters is out with a report that a number of companies are now looking at expanding their presence or bringing their businesses into America because of President Trump's policies. And just moments ago, before coming out here, I saw another report by Reuters revealing that Merck has opened a $1 billion facility at its North Carolina site. This is just the latest pharmaceutical company to boost its U.S. manufacturing in lieu of President Trump's tariffs. This announcement follows Eli Lilly's plans to invest at least $27 billion to build 4 new manufacturing plants here in the United States, and Pfizer has also said it's considering moving their manufacturing overseas right here to the United States of America. As the president has said over and over again, when we purchase products made in the USA, the profits stay here, the revenue stays here, and most importantly, the jobs stay here. And despite the globalist mainstream media's attempts to worry consumers, President Trump will not repeat the trend of past American presidents who broke their promises to the American public and smiled while they stuck a knife in the back of American workers and shipped their jobs overseas. Our country has lost more than 5 million jobs in more than 90,000 factories due to devastating globalization over the last 3 decades alone. North Carolina lost 300,000 manufacturing jobs, including 60% of its furniture manufacturing jobs in the years following NAFTA. And in Michigan, globalist policies destroyed 250,000 jobs, including 40% of the auto industry, which again we know is clawing back because of President Trump's action already. These are harrowing statistics that represent countless towns and families who have been completely destroyed. But the America Last globalist era is ending under President Trump. He will no longer allow our country and our workers, our hard-working American families, to be ripped off. On another very important issue for the president, he continues to work hard to secure the border. If you missed it yesterday, CBP launched an enhanced home mobile app with a new feature, the Intent to Depart, which offers unlawfully present aliens or those aliens whose parole has been revoked an orderly and defined process to notify the U.S. government of their intent to depart the country. The CBP Home app strengthens our mission to secure the border and provides illegal aliens with a straightforward way to leave now before facing much harsher consequences later. A new report from Bloomberg just found that the number of aliens trying to reach our country by traveling through the jungle to Central America dropped a whopping 99% last month. And this follows the incredible news that illegal border crossings plummeted last month as well, down 94% at our southern border from last February under the Biden administration. As President Trump made clear during his historic address to Congress, we must finish this job and continue to carry out the largest
she didn't say anything that's bringing it down
in American
there.
history.
You have the NATO Secretary General on Wednesday. Just another low.
Continuing resolution that is before Congress and was negotiated by Speaker Johnson. He is encouraging all Republicans to vote yes on this clean CR, which freezes funding at current levels and will prevent the Democrats from getting their long-awaited government
Iran
shutdown.
clapping.
Voting against this CR will hurt the American people
Okay,
and kill
flushing
the incredible
more.
momentum that President Trump
She's
has
talking
built
debt
over
ceiling.
The past 51
This could be
days.
some of the issues. Look
And
at the
lastly,
bonds.
before I take questions,
Again, you guys,
I would
bonds
like
are
to
the
commend
play.
The Washington Post,
That's it.
who I
My last play was TOT. It's too late to grab a put. I just grabbed TLT. So not a recommendation, but that's the only. Just like yesterday, we're going to do the same thing. If it catches up, well, that's the way, or we wait till a pop, and then we'll get another put, or we have to buy a call. But the puts, I don't like any of them right now. We already hit.
And that's why we have people.
But yeah, dude, even the 550s are at a fucking dollar
now. We
now.
have Sargar Anetti,
90.
who is the host of Breaking Points.
Yeah, look, TLT. That's what I'm telling you. If we're gonna get any fear, that's the one.
1 billion views on YouTube, several hundred million podcast downloads.
My TLTs are already up 15% though. So be careful. They're starting to move.
Of the White House Correspondents Association, but is now a part of the thriving independent media. We're very happy to have you with us here today. Why don't you kick off our briefing? Thank you.
Bro, is she wearing a Chanel shirt?
A couple of questions for you, if I may.
I'm sorry. I know Corinne's outfits, but if that's a Chanel shirt, that's like a $5,000 shirt, bro. I'm just saying. I got a bougie-ass girlfriend. I made her return it. I'm just saying. I'm like, what do you mean $5,000 for a shirt? I give you same one, $5. Marshall, Habibi. TJ Maxx, Habibi.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. So let me start by saying
make
that
money
first of all,
too.
when it
What the
comes to
fuck?
stock market, the numbers that we see
I didn't
today,
tell you,
the
I got
numbers
my
we saw
girl on
yesterday, the
Keds,
numbers
bro.
we saw, we'll see tomorrow.
This European girl used to be buying $1,000 shoes.
And as President Trump has
I said, look,
and
these
I'm
look
here to
exactly
echo
the same
remarks
for
of
$20.
the President of this White House. We are in a
I got her
period
sold,
of
bro.
economic transition.
I got her sold.
We are in a period of transition from the mess that was
She still buys
created
purses,
under
though.
Joe
I can't
Biden
stop
and the
that.
previous administration.
I just make sure they
Joe
hold
Biden
value.
left this country in an economic disaster. Several statistics to point out. The delinquency rate on credit card loans increased 63% under Joe Biden, hitting a near 12-year high. Under Joe Biden, all net job growth went to foreign-born Americans. Real wages declined by 1.5% under Joe Biden. And as we all know,
This is good. She's explaining it. She's
combat
explaining what Nick
prices
Timmerhouse
soared
tweeted.
More than 20% under Joe Biden.
This isn't controversial.
Because of his reckless spending and economic policies. So we are in a period of transition.
Because everybody's saying, oh, the economy, blame Donald Trump. But look at even Timmerhouse.
Never had a private sector job in his life, into a golden age of American manufacturing.
Even Timmerhouse said the same thing.
And a deal maker in chief.
That if you really look at the data underneath the surface, the economy is a lot worse. It's an inconvenient truth. It really is. It's just that we were able to overlook the vulnerabilities because everybody was so hyped. That's what Nick Timmerhouse said last night. That's why you could almost argue that the Fed kind of agrees with Trump.
In just 51 days.
I know,
the massive
crazy.
efforts to deregulate. Tax cuts, which we need Congress to pass the Trump economic agenda, the Trump tax cuts, which will unleash economic growth. And the president also addressed this directly, I will point out as well, when you look at what he said on Air Force One. And he said he wants the American people to have so much money in their pockets they don't even know what to do with it. That's the intent of this administration, and we're working very hard every day on that goal.
Second question on the CR. So President Trump came out today in a primary challenge.
Debt ceiling's on Friday, yeah, 15th.
Congressman Massey's been a supporter of Doge. He's been a supporter of Make America Healthy Again. What kind of message is this White House sending against a congressman who's sticking up for principles that he's long held in the chamber and voting against continuing resolution and spending?
Why is this camera guy all up in your grill? I would have hit him with an elbow.
For conservatives, Republicans, and frankly all members of
I don't want to go to the
get
press room
behind
anymore.
this
If that
continuing
fucking cameraman gonna be all up in my
resolution to keep
shit.
the government funded. The president wants to continue
6 feet
the
away,
momentum
motherfucker.
that he has built over the last 51 days. In order to keep the government
see
funded,
he's all
we
up in
got to
his
keep
shit.
moving with these deportations. And he believes that everybody needs to get on board with this bill. He's been active in this process. He's been making calls to get this over the finish line. And we're urging every Republican, and Democrats too, to do what's right for the American public to prevent a government shutdown.
Just the last question here on Mahmoud Khalil. Does the administration
Look at him!
believe that it needs to charge
I
a
would
new
slap
cardholder
this
with
dude.
a crime
He
to
see,
be
let me
eligible
snap
for
in my ear
deportation?
cheese. Are you
Well,
kidding me?
In fact, Secretary
Why you getting all up in my ear cheese with that fucking 50
50
millimeter camera? You don't need any of that.
And I'm glad you brought this
The
up.
fuck is wrong with
Under
you,
the
bro?
Immigration and Nationality
You saw-
Act, the Secretary of State has the right to revoke a green card or a visa for individuals who serve or are adversarial to the foreign policy and national security interests of the United States of America. And Mahmoud Khalil was an individual who was given the privilege of coming to this country to study at one of our nation's finest universities
Fucking
and
Mahmoud.
colleges. And
Look
he
at that,
took
Habibi.
advantage
Look at
of that opportunity, of that privilege, by siding with terrorists, Hamas terrorists who have killed innocent men, women, and children. This is an individual who organized group protests that not only disrupted college campus classes and harassed Jewish American students and made them feel unsafe on their own college campus, but also distributed pro-Hamas propaganda, flyers with the logo of Hamas. That is what the behavior and activity that this individual engaged in. And I have those flyers on my desk.
I have a play. I'm waiting for it. I don't want to. I'm not trying to go early, though.
Briefing room to share with all of you, but I didn't think it was worth the dignity of this room to bring that pro-Hamas propaganda. But that's what this individual distributed on the campus of Columbia University. And this administration is not going to tolerate individuals having the privilege of studying in our country and then siding with pro-terrorist organizations that have killed Americans. We have a zero tolerance policy for siding with terrorists, period. Peter Ducey.
Thank you, Caroline.
Peter Ducey.
So you said that the Dow dropping and dropping and dropping is a period of transition.
SPY is officially in correction. Down 10% from high.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But is there any concern here that it's going to be harder to ask certain federal workers
5528 again, 10 more points all the way up to 20 for the next level.
They're getting rocked every day.
Well, I'm glad you brought up workers,
again, downside play,
exactly who
TLTs.
President Trump is looking out
They're up
for with
15%. That's the only play I see right now. Otherwise, I'm looking for a bounce play. It's just hard. The premiums are still juiced. Even the bounce plays are not that good.
To be optimistic about where the economy stands, and the American
we need that other 10 points.
CEOs,
10, 20.
Small business owners, but most importantly, workers should bet on President Trump because his tariff policies, what he envisions, is reciprocity, fair trade practices, where American workers are put first and are no longer ripped off.
I'm gonna start with a small one. I did a call,
Trump
not a reco. You'll lose money.
Tesla today. Did he buy it? And when is the last time he drove a car?
That's a very good question.
Great
I have heard the president remark that he misses being able to drive, that luxury of driving his own vehicle, although the beast is nice, but he is going to be viewing a Tesla that is making its way to the White House complex now, I can confirm. Perhaps the press pool today will have an opportunity to witness this very exciting moment later this afternoon. But Tesla is on its way here now, and we'll see if the president likes it when he checks it out.
So they're bringing him a Tesla to look at, and if he likes it, he's just going to buy it.
You know, he's intent on, he's definitely going to buy one, but he'll take a look at it when it gets here later this afternoon.
Full retail?
Yes, full market price. Kelly.
Can we talk about Canada? What is the status of...
No, bro, I can't change it, unfortunately. Your boy YouTube hates us. I know, that's the only downside with members only. But I hope it gets you good info.
And is the decision
like I said, calls, baby!
The tariffs, is that based on a
They're already up 20.
economic metric that he looked
Come
at?
on,
Is
run
it
it. Please
impulse?
give me a
How would you
vertical.
describe his reaction?
Just give me one more vertical.
president
I already
has
have. Just
not
told
yet
you calls. I
spoken.
said I'm going early.
Not since I checked, which was just moments ago.
They're already
but
15,
certainly
but
his
I don't
phone
know.
is
We need that to
open,
really go. If that goes,
to
we'll make
leaders who
30,
wish to
40.
speak with him.
But otherwise,
As for
they'll
the
come back
tariffs,
down.
The president made his position on this quite clear with the statement that he put out. And it was a retaliatory statement.
I still think there's
due to
another
the
20
escalation
points
of
lower.
rhetoric that we've
I
seen
stream
out of
alerted 2
Ontario,
contracts.
Canada.
I gave you
the
a
president saw the premier
expensive
Doug
one
Ford
and a cheap
make
one to
an
watch.
egregious and
But then I do
insulting
think
comment threatening
if
to
this
shut
doesn't
down
bounce here, we're
electricity
going to go down
for the
another 20
American
points,
people,
and
for
then that'll be the
hardworking
buy.
American families. He made that threat. The president saw that and
I
has
only
an
made
obligation
10%,
and
now it's back to
responsibility,
5.
to
So, hold
respond accordingly and represent the interests of the American people. So he has made the decision to add a 25% tariff. So now steel and aluminum tariffs will come into effect tomorrow at the rate of 50%. And our steel and aluminum industries have
Remember,
actually
steel and
applauded
aluminum
these
already
tariffs
died,
because,
though.
again, they know
So it's literally
it's going to
60
grow their
billion.
industry
This
here.
would have been bigger in
It's going to allow them
2018.
to export more steel that is made right
But she's
here
reiterating
in
the
United
headline from
States
the morning.
with American workers.
Egregious and insulting are your words here, but that's what many Canadian leaders have said about the actions President Trump has taken toward Canada. And what do you think the timeline is for speaking to Mr. Carney? Because normally a sitting president speaks to a close ally very quickly when there's new leadership.
Well, the president is, again, responding to the fact that Canada has been ripping off the United States of America and hardworking Americans for decades. If you look at the rates of tariffs across the board that Canadians have been imposing,
Ontario
on the
says we
American
cannot
people and
accept
our
this
workers
interruption
here,
in
it
free
is
flow of
egregious.
goods
In
with
fact,
U.S.
I have a handy-dandy chart here that shows not just Canada, but the rate of tariffs across the board. If you look at Canada, since you brought it up, American
Ontario says hopes U.S. and Canada can use off-ramp. Man!
You look at India.
Yo, fucking Ontario's folding right now. Yeah. I think that's why you got the pop. See if this continues, but now he's saying he hopes for an off-ramp. There you go. Now you're fucking speaking English.
Right.
Not that dumb shit. This guy was speaking Dominese the whole day. Oh, we're going to cut off your electricity. You could cut off our whole entire country. Let me cut off your electricity. Y'all been watching way too many Ukraine clips. That's not how you fucking do shit.
Canada has not been treating us very fairly at all over the past several decades. To the woman
so yeah, that's positive for now, but small reaction. We're not out of the clear yet.
What's going on?
Well, actually, I have a couple of questions. At the core of pro-Palestinian protests on college campuses and elsewhere is a demand to end the war in Gaza, a goal that this administration actually supports and has pursued. So why has this not been acknowledged or highlighted even?
Because these colleges and these protests have again put out Hamas propaganda. The flyers that have been distributed call for violence.
Okay, now that I have a call and it's going, I'm making TLT free. So I'm still holding some, but I sold out most of them.
Murdered men, women, and children.
So
they are a
TLT
designated foreign terrorist organization, and we are not going to tolerate non-citizens, foreigners who come here on a visa engaging in such behavior, siding with terrorists. And the Secretary of State reserves the authority to revoke the green
so now we got
card
2
or the
free
visa
TLTs
of
on the
an
week.
Individual who serves
then you got 10% on the calls.
Actually, it says right
Still
here,
not
reasonable
holding,
grounds
though.
to believe that the alien's presence or activities in the United States would have potentially serious adverse foreign
You could hold them overnight,
consequences
yeah. I
to
don't.
the United States.
Just
And I
be
think
mindful.
siding
It's
with
kind of the
Hamas
hedge
makes
play.
that quite
It's
clear.
like a late stage
Secretary
UVXY
Rubio
or put.
exercised that
Well, yeah, you
authority,
can't hold it.
and
It's
we
up to
fully
you,
believe
but
that we are
I
going
like
to move
free.
forward with more arrests, as President Trump previewed in his statement yesterday. Ed,
Yeah, thanks.
go ahead.
So are there conversations between the administration and the Canadians going on over this tariff? Because
Listen
the
to
Ontario
this.
Premier says the next step
This is
is
big.
to cut off electricity to the U.S.
And the president put out a statement after seeing those comments and said that it would be there would be grave consequences imposed on Canada if they think about shutting off electricity for the United States of America and our citizens. And the president is also determined to ensure
the calls
that we
are breaking.
dependent
Oh,
on
there you go. It
American
flipped.
electricity,
I was like, bro,
not
you
the
hit a new high and the calls
electricity
went break
production of
even.
foreign nations, including
So now calls
our
are break
allies
even
in
still.
Canada. As for conversations, there is continued correspondence between
Making them
the
free, you
president's
sell to
team,
get your
particularly
initial
Secretary
investment
Letnick,
back.
and the
So if I
Canadians
buy
as well.
options for $100 and they go up in value,
How do you sell
like
to the American
$100.
people then, after they're looking at what's happening in
Hold
the
on.
markets
Trump
this week,
determined to
and
ensure
say that
depend
tariff
the
policy
electricity.
long-term is
But then
something
you
good.
sell out to get
Well, just think about
$100
what
back,
the
and then
tariff
whatever else
policy
is free.
long-term will do for our country.
Long-term.
I think
Okay,
many
well,
of
look
us
at
probably
spy
grew
down,
up in
TLT
small
up.
towns.
I may
know
have-
at
I may
least
have shot
did,
too
and the
early.
main street in my small town looks a heck
So I
of
still
a lot
have a
worse
little
than it
exposure,
probably
just
did
not as
decades
much.
ago before I was
And then my
alive. At
calls
least,
are now
my
down
parents and
5%.
grandparents tell me so, and I know many Americans feel that same way.
I know the spy
What
put
the
from
president
earlier, everyone I
envisions for
stream
this
alerted
country
and call
is
out,
for
they're
the
all
United States of
killing
America
it.
to be a manufacturing superpower where there are American factories and businesses owned by Americans producing goods that we are exporting to the rest of the world. Those revenues will stay here. It will increase wages for people here in our great
Like
country.
I said, this
It will
level is
ensure
key.
our
If we
national
flush, it's
security,
gonna get
and
big,
it will
just
boost
like
the
here.
morale of the American people to
So
have
if we
thriving
flush here, we're gonna
industries again.
flush all
Think
the way
about
to
Detroit,
5,500,
Michigan.
or we bounce.
Think about North
That's my
Carolina,
opinion.
as
I could be
mentioned,
wrong.
that used to have a
But do you
thriving
see it? Last
furniture
time we had
industry that no
pressure
longer exists
at the other
because of the
level,
globalist
you kind of
trade
like danced
policies of
around. If it
previous and
flushes,
past
you're dead.
administrations.
20
And
points.
the
If
American
it bounces,
people restore American greatness and restore our manufacturing dominance, and he's intent on doing just that. John.
I don't think they taught Caroline how to pump the market yet. Wait till she learns.
To Republicans to support this continuing resolution is their outreach to Democrats, because what we've seen since the beginning of the fiscal year is that in order to get a continuing resolution, you need bipartisan support and you need compromise.
Well, right now, we are focused on House Republicans and on the House, because that's the first step, as you know, John. And so the president has engaged in correspondence with House Republicans, whipping votes and getting them to a yes, which I understand has been pretty successful this morning thus far. And so, again, the president is encouraging Republicans especially, but again, as I said, all members of Congress to vote to continue funding this government so we can continue the business of the American people, which elected President Trump to do.
And then on financial markets, we've seen this decline yesterday. We see it today as well.
Let's see.
It seems that the read on the president's policies is one in which they do not have confidence in his trade tariffs policy. They do not have confidence in what the president said to Fox News over the weekend, that he didn't rule out the idea of a recession. What is your read?
Okay, this is
in terms of
big.
the decline that we've
This
seen
was
over the last
this was the
week and a
comment
half
that got
in
you
financial
down
markets?
yesterday.
Well, I think there's actually
The
a lot
detox.
of reason to be confident, and many people do feel confident. Just look at the nearly $2 trillion.
Okay,
in
calls are
private
down
investment
10%
that
now.
this
That's way
president
more.
has secured.
Without
Look at the
movement,
comments
premiums
made
are
by
dancing.
The CEO of Apple, one of the biggest companies in this world, who said that he is bullish on the future of American innovation under the
She knows the
leadership
word
of President
bullish.
Trump. Look at CEO confidence. According to the Conference Board measure of CEO confidence, in Q1 2025, under the leadership of this president, it jumped to its highest level in 3 years, from cautious optimism to confident optimism. If you, again, look at the $2 trillion in investments from some of the biggest companies in the world. Look at the jobs report last Friday, as I also cited in my opening remarks. Fox Business reported that Trump sees a manufacturing boom in First Full's jobs report of his second term. Look at the auto jobs that have already poured back into America. We added 9,000 new auto jobs. Those are sticky jobs. Those are good paying jobs. That's 9,000 American families who will now be able to live the American dream because of the policies of this administration. You also look at small business optimism. The NFIB put out a report this morning. Small business optimism continues to be far higher than it ever was under
Gilead
the previous
shows
administration.
promising
There's a
1
lot of
year.
reason
What
to
is
be
this?
optimistic.
Hey, yo,
And
check
again, the
Gilead.
American people,
Guild has some
CEOs
drug
and
update.
people on Wall Street and on Main Street should
First
bet
data for
on
once
this
yearly
president. He is a deal maker. He is a
lenacapavir
businessman,
HIV
and
prevention.
He's doing what's right for our country. He wants to restore wealth to the United States of America. Michael, good to see you.
Michael.
Two questions, if I may.
Michael.
Will the administration be providing any relief to states affected by the Ontario power tariff?
Well, the president has made it very clear that Canada would be very wise not to shut off
Very
electricity
wise.
For the American
The opposite
people.
of
And
very
we hope
wise
that
is
does not
very
happen.
unwise,
As for
too.
what would happen if
For
that
those of you
does
who
take
don't know.
place, I'll leave it to the president to make those decisions.
CMI on the low.
Share the Justice Department's concern over rising egg prices and possible collusion of Big Egg.
Well, we definitely
Big
we
egg
definitely
collusion.
do share the concerns
Oh,
of the
fuck.
American people when it comes to the price
That's
of eggs.
crazy.
However, good news: the average cost
next
of a dozen
Luigi
eggs
gonna
is
be
actually
about
down,
fucking eggs?
Since Secretary
That's
Rawlings and
crazy.
President Trump announced their plan.
He's like,
It's
I
down
studied
$1.85.
Japan.
So that's
I
good
haven't been
news
able to
on the
eat
cost of
breakfast
eggs.
affordably
As we know,
for
under the
6
Biden
months. I gotta
administration,
do
egg
something
prices went
about
up
it.
22%.
Time
This
to
is
hatch
another
these
example of an
CEOs.
economic mess that President Trump inherited, and the Secretary of Agriculture and the President are focused on fixing it. Secretary Rawlings put out a 4-point plan rather, to address this crisis, and she has been honest and realistic with the American people, as this administration always is. It will take about
Why'd the
3 to
chicken
6
cross
months to
the
get
road
the egg
to
supply
collude
back
with
to
big
where it should
eggs?
be. But
That's
she's
why they
focused,
crossed
and this
the road.
administration is focused on doing that every day. Karen.
Thanks, Caroline. Just back on the markets, you said that what we're seeing this week right now on Wall Street is a snapshot of a moment in time. But does the president think he bears any
Snapshot of a moment? Why y'all speaking like Kamala?
Look, the president is unwavering in his commitment
The fuck?
to restore American
Just a snapshot of the
manufacturing
moment of
and
time.
global
What the fuck did
dominance,
you say what
and
you're
I think he
saying?
doubled down on that this morning with his new statement and the tariffs that will be implemented tomorrow on steel and aluminum.
And He has said recently he's not looking at the market. He said you can't really watch the stock market, but all of the gains since Election Day have been erased in the S&P 500. At what point, how far do stocks have to fall before the president considers it a factor?
Oh, great question.
Again, as I just said, the president will look out for Wall Street and for Main Street, just like he did in his first term. And people on Wall Street and Main Street should bet on this president. He's doing what's right.
All righty.
Nick,
I did
good
not
to
think
see
she
you.
would say that. That was bullish, but we'll see if the market likes it.
Is the president prepared, like what we saw with Congressman?
She just said the opposite of what everybody was saying.
Pressure other Republican
Literally.
lawmakers into supporting,
I mean, she
this
did
continuing
answer
resolution?
it with by him
he
saying
is
the
very
other
much,
stuff.
As I said, engaged in
Rivian
this process.
hands-free
He's been
driving.
making calls to lawmakers on Capitol Hill, and I think his statements against Congressman Massey speak for themselves. And I will let the president put out any additional statements if he chooses to, but he fully expects all House Republicans to vote for this continuing resolution.
And just to follow up, can we start to anticipate seeing more of the president weighing in on upcoming?
All right, I'm out of the
2026
calls,
races
around
like we saw this
36%.
I
wanted
am not
40,
sure
but
about that.
I don't want to
I'm
push
not even
it.
sure if I'm allowed to speak about that from this podium.
Hit again,
I would check
baby.
in with
Hit
our
again.
outside political team for
So
guidance
good luck.
on future races and the president's involvement. Elena.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about some comments Elon Musk made yesterday. He said that there is $500 to $700 billion in waste and fraud and entitlement spending. He called it, quote, the big one to eliminate. Earlier
That
this month,
it
he also
should have
referred
pumped
to
heavy
Social
on that
Security
comment,
as
but
a
that's what
Ponzi
I'm saying.
scheme.
I'm gonna just take
Should
mine.
Americans expect
We'll
changes,
reposition,
big changes
and then take a look
to
at those
Social
puts now
Security
too.
and
Actually,
President Trump has been unequivocally clear on this. He is going to protect Social
Ooh,
Security
I know the
and
put,
Medicare
bro, but it's
benefits,
too much.
Medicaid, for hardworking
if
Americans.
we get like
who
half
paid
a
into
pop
these
here,
entitlement
those
programs and
550s
deserve those
at like
hard-earned
20
benefits.
cents.
And unfortunately,
But now
the
we're running out
mainstream
of
media
time.
has
That's the
taken
shitty
Mr.
part.
Musk out of context. I saw a Bloomberg
Nah, yeah,
headline
just
that
be
our team
careful.
actually worked
But
on
I
getting
like it.
updated
Like I'm
and
saying,
fixed
right now the
because it
puts
was
are
so
cheaper
wrong,
because of the
and it
time
took
decay
Mr.
and that
Musk
move.
out of context.
They're
What he
really
was
dying now
specifically
because there's
referring
not
to
as much
cutting,
time, but
was
it's
the
tough.
waste and the fraud and
It's
abuse
still a
that
heavy,
does
like that's a
exist
big
in
price
these
tag.
programs.
We need it
According to
way
an IG
cheaper.
report from
If
the
that
Social
gets like if
Security
that gets cheap
Administration,
enough,
there's
buy it.
more
It's a
than
no-brainer.
$70 billion
But right
of
now you're
fraud in the
taking
Social
risks.
Security program alone that we know of, and so the
All right, let me
president
go
will
pee,
continue to
and then
protect
we'll,
these programs
get ready for
hardworking
PHILO.
Americans, and actually
That's
cutting
it, bro.
the waste,
What,
fraud,
another
and
great
abuse out
day,
of these
man. I don't know.
programs
I need
will
to stop
protect you
playing.
for hardworking
I keep
Americans.
hitting, but until then, that's it. We did good, bro. We did good.
To claim that, and also if that is
It's still
the case,
holding.
that
Again,
would
any of
represent
these
more than
plays, you
a third
don't do what I do.
what
Do
Social
whatever you
Security
want,
paid
but
out last year,
I hope you
20%.
see how the ideas and
Again,
timing
if you read his full quote,
are
he said,
very,
"We think."
very on point.
So it's an estimate
It's a good
based
streak,
on
man.
what he's
Honestly,
seen.
I hope
He's
you
not
guys
saying
hit until
definitively,
I'm
he's
worried
saying
because
that's what
eventually
Doge
I'm gonna
suspects
start
and thinks.
missing.
And that's exactly
But for
why
now, I'm
Doge was
hitting every
created
fucking
to
thing in my
ensure that
way.
we are
But one day
investigating
I'll
the
stop.
fraudulent
So
spending,
run it up
the
while you
wasteful
can.
abuse across our
That's the
federal
best
government.
advice I could
And
give
I
you.
would remind everybody in this
But,
room that
all right, let me go to the
77%
bathroom.
of the
Follow me on
American people
Instagram at the
support
Trading
this
Fraternity.
effort
Real
by
Code
Elon
News.
Musk and Doge to identify
Hey, ready?
such
Round
waste,
two.
fraud, and
Actually,
abuse. Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline.
You're welcome.
If we could just
Got
step
one more
back
idea.
for a second. When President Trump last addressed the BRT when he was on the campaign trail, his big push was on tax cuts. He's going there today as he's proposing tax hikes in the form of tariffs.
Not
And
true.
I'm doing a
curious
call
he's
for
not getting
tomorrow.
why he's prioritizing
I just did it.
that over the tax cuts.
He's
I'm gonna
actually
keep a
not
ghetto one, a
implementing
small one.
tax
It's cheap,
hikes.
out of the money, so it
Tariffs
might
are
not
a
hit,
tax
but it's a
hike
call.
on foreign countries that again have been ripping us off. Tariffs are a tax cut for the American people, and the president is a staunch advocate of tax cuts. As you know, he campaigned on no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security benefits. He is committed to all three of those things, and he expects Congress to pass them later this year.
I'm sorry, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have.
That's
they
it.
don't get charged on foreign companies.
What the
they
fuck
get
you just
charged
said?
On the importers.
And ultimately, when we have fair
Yeah,
and
have you
balanced
paid a
trade,
tariff?
which the
I have.
American
Shut the
people
fuck
have not
up.
seen in decades, as I said at the beginning,
Stupid
revenues
motherfucker.
will stay here, wages will go up, and our country will be made wealthy again. And I think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of
Yeah, fuck
economics
him.
and
feel
the
you, Caroline.
decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Mary, go ahead.
Amen. See, that's what's gonna happen.
The first one was on Russia, Ukraine.
Stream
I know
Alerts is in
Special
the
Envoy
first
Witkoff
link in
said
the
yesterday
description.
that Zelensky apologized. In his
But
letter
again,
to Trump.
do not buy
Can you
it
share
if
any more
you
about
guys
that
are not
letter and
saving
what
money,
else might be interesting
because
from
I
it
need
that we
to
don't know?
adjust
Yes, the
stream
president
alerts
did
to
reference
account for
letter,
that.
as you're saying, in
I
his
don't.
joint
Again,
address
the
to
plays are
Congress.
working and they're
I
nice,
do
but
have an
you need to
update.
be there for the
As
right
you know,
reason, and I
Secretary of
don't want
State
you guys
Rubio
to
and our National
gamble
Security Advisor,
unless
Mike
you could
Waltz,
afford
have been
to,
negotiating
and
with the
you could
Ukrainians,
afford to if you
today
keep
in
it
Saudi.
small
They will be
and
providing
save
a
in the
full
long
readout
term.
of that meeting,
But without
very
it,
soon.
I don't think it's going to help
but
you.
I can assure you and everybody here and the American people that the news we've received from that meeting throughout the day and the president has been briefed on is positive. This meeting has been productive.
let me go to the
I will
bathroom.
let Secretary of Rubio and our national.
That's what I'm saying.
Security-
That in
Secretary
the
of
money
State
call
Rubio
would have
and our
hit.
National Security
Now we would have
Advisor,
got
speak to
50%,
the
but I rolled it over to a
specifics of
cheap
what
one
has
for
taken place
tomorrow.
today when they
The
are
call
ready
that
to
I
do
made
so
was
in the
for
meeting.
tomorrow, not today.
Lindsay, go
So
ahead.
then that way it's cheap. You'll get more. It's already up, I think. How many?
The president has said
I'm
this
already
is
at
the
15
first
on
of
that.
many arrests like this.
But yeah, let me go to the
Does
bathroom.
administration
And then
have
I
an
think we'll
estimate
wrap
of
this
how
up
many
here in a little
arrests you're
bit.
planning
But I
to
like
make
the
this summer?
comments. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't have an estimate. I do know that DHS.
Dude, today was
based
killer.
on
We
very
hit
good
every
intel
trade
that they have
perfectly.
gathered at the
I've had
direction
like
of the
3
president's
bottom
executive
ticks,
order,
3
which
perfect
made it
sell
very
the
clear
rips,
to the
bro.
Department of
This
Homeland
was a
Security,
very good day
that
trading wise. It was
engaging, as
hard. I don't
said,
think it was
an
easy, but
anti-American,
I think we
anti-Semitic,
hit all of them,
pro-Hamas,
bro.
Protests will not be tolerated. So
right, let
since
me
the
run, man.
president
Let me go to
signed
the
that executive
bathroom.
order and since Secretary of Known has taken the oath at DHS, they have been using intelligence to identify individuals on our nation's colleges and universities, on our college campuses, who have engaged in such behavior and activity, and especially illegal activity. And so I don't have a readout on how many arrests will come, but I do know that DHS is actively working on it. And I also know that Columbia University has been given the names of other individuals who have engaged in pro-Hamas activity, and they are refusing to help DHS identify those individuals on campus. And as the president said very strongly in his statement yesterday, he is not going to tolerate that, and we expect all America's colleges and universities to comply with this administration's policy. Jasmine.
On Canada, after all of these threats to increase tariffs or turn off electricity, I wonder, does this administration still consider Canada to be a close ally of the United States?
Well, I think Canada is a neighbor. They are a partner. They have always been an ally. Perhaps they are becoming a competitor now. But as the president also laid out in his Truth Social post today, he believes that Canadians would benefit greatly from becoming the 51st state.
Oh, damn, yeah, those went up 100% on my dip buy.
And I
only got
actually
30.
looked into some of the
So if you
research
held
about
that,
the
the
cost of
rollover got
living,
you another 30.
in Canada, and the cost
So yeah, that
of
was
living
great.
is much higher than it is here in the United States of America. The average cost of a home in Canada is much higher. In Quebec, the highest tax rate for an income of $150,000 or more is 53.3%, more than half of Canadians' incomes they are being taxed on. So the president has made it
I wanna
clear
sell
that
it, but I'm gonna
he
hold it.
believes Canadians would be better served economically.
I'm gonna hold it, but either get rid of that one I
if they
just
were to
bought,
become the
or
51st
just
state
ride
of the
it.
United
But
States of
they'll
America.
die if you
Reagan.
drop again. That was just a great pickup, and the TLTs are still grand. Gratata.
Over to her office from the SDNY. When
did
can we
it,
expect
Cal.
those
We
files
did
to be
it.
released to the public?
I would defer you to the Department of Justice. I don't have a timeline here.
Do you have any update on the JFK files?
I don't at this moment. Again, I would defer you to our DNI director, Tulsi Gabbard, and also the Department of Justice. I know that they are working on that diligently as the president
In the
requested.
past, yeah,
Christian.
it'll get there. Don't worry. I think I saw a lot of emails. I saw a
Have
Gus
there been
in
any
there. If that was
updates
the
on
same Gus.
standing up the External Revenue Service to collect revenue from that?
Well, we need reciprocal tariffs to go into effect first, and as you know,
I know
the
we
president will
need
be
to do
rolling
it for
those out
Canadians.
on
I don't
April
know.
2nd,
It just
and then the
sucks
next start of that process
because
is
you
collecting
guys are
that
gonna cut off
revenue
our
to
electricity,
ultimately create
so
the
I can't.
External Revenue Service, which Secretary Lutnick is working very hard on. and
Canada
is
might
quite
be better than the
enthusiastic about,
EU.
if you have noticed from his media interviews.
Can the president do that through executive action, or will it require legislation?
Well, the president already signed an executive order to direct the Secretary of Commerce to establish the External Revenue Service, or at least to identify ways in which it can be done. I would defer you to the Department of Commerce for more on specifics on that. Sure, in the back.
Thank you very much, Carolina. I have questions on South Korea and North Korea. First question, as you know, South Korean President Yoon has been released from illegal detention. What is the reaction of the United States as an ally? Is there a possibility of a summit with President Trump when President Yoon returns? Second question on North Korea. North Korea launched the several ballistic missiles into the West Coast yesterday. What is the White House's reaction on this?
Sure. Yes, I'll start with your question on North Korea. We condemn these actions and we call on North Korea to stop their unlawful and destabilizing
the
actions.
550 puts are showing a 3 handle. I don't want it yet, but if you have more risk in your body, that might be for you.
In close contact with our South Korean
Now it's at
counterparts
40,
as we work together to
off the
promote a
table.
free
Like
and
I'm saying, I
open
want it low
Indo-Pacific.
30s, low 20s, but that's still mad expensive for 2 hours. But again, that's the zone if we actually hit it.
I don't have anything on that, but I can certainly check in with the National Security Council and get back to you. Sure, good to see you.
Press Secretary, many are concerned about the validity of President Biden's official actions and also his pardons of the possible criminal actions of individuals such as his family members and Liz Cheney, as information is emerging that many of his official actions were auto-signed. Possibly even the
Bro, you
pardons
guys know
without
Hunter
his knowledge
Biden's
or
art
consent.
doesn't sell
Does
anymore?
the White House have any information available
His art
currently
dealer said he
that
was doing a
Biden
couple
actually
million
wanted
back in the
to sign
day,
those pardons?
and
And
now
the
in the
second
last
question,
like
will
6
DOJ
months he's only
investigate
sold like
whether
30,000 of
President
art.
Biden's cognitive decline
Yeah, man.
allowed
It's
unelected
weird. It's
staff
like
to
his
push through
dad
local
is not
policy
the
and
president
pardons without
anymore,
his own approval.
and
I
you can't
don't know the
launder
answer to
money
that
through
question, but I
shit.
can check in with our folks here who may know.
It
the
is
answer
the
to that
straight. Do you
question
know
and get
he
back to you.
this is a
Dasha.
true story.
Dasha, go ahead.
Hunter Biden fell behind on rent, and the landlord asked him to pay, and Hunter Biden offered, instead of cash, he would give him a piece of his artwork that was literally made from human feces. Yes, that is a true story, at least according to the landlord. That is what the landlord stated. Yes, that Hunter Biden offered him artwork made out of his feces to cover his rent.
Some of those approval ratings drop in the short term. How much is he willing to stomach that, and will he stay committed to his vision for tariffs even as all of this comes up?
Well, the president has been working hard every single day to alleviate the pain that was inflicted by the previous administration through massive deregulation, through drill baby drill, as we like to call it, unleashing the might of our energy industry, which we know will ultimately drive down costs for consumers here at home. And again, as I mentioned, the president is intent on signing tax cuts for the American people to put more money back into their pockets, which will ultimately unlock consumer confidence. And again, I'll reiterate the president's words in layman's terms as he does best. The president wants the American people to have so much more money in their pockets, they don't know what to do with it. That's the goal of this administration through tariffs, through tax cuts, through deregulation, and through unleashing the potential of our energy industry. I have 2 more quick notes before I wrap up. April 28th, I can confirm that the Philadelphia Eagles will be here at the White House to celebrate their Super Bowl victory. I know there was a lot of fake news about an invitation that wasn't sent or was sent. We want to correct the record. We sent an invitation. They enthusiastically accepted, and you will see them here on April 28th. And lastly, on a sad note, I would like to express our condolences to Fox News and to the entire Fox family who did lose a cameraman, Craig Savage, who passed away at 61 years old recently.
That's
a very
sad. What about
tragic
the guy,
death,
the
an
reporter that
individual
was
who a
gunned
great
down
man
leaving
and
his job?
covered this building
Because he worked for
for
Alex
many,
Jones.
many years. So the entire
That
press
one was
office,
sad.
the communications office here wants to express our condolences
Yeah, bro, the
with his
InfoWars
family
dude.
and also with Fox
Dude,
News.
they literally
and
murdered
I'll see you
him.
guys later. Perhaps you'll see the
He
president
straight got
in a Tesla
murdered,
later
bro,
this
in
afternoon.
America,
Have
a
a good one.
reporter. Yeah, that was last night, bro. It was terrible. All right, not bad. We got some plays there. Hopefully you got the bottom tick. But that was good to be here. So, Chattadonia, game time. Game time. Now we can begin our philo. So, I hope you guys are feeling good. It's been a wild day already. We've literally, there's one play I didn't hit in the morning. Every other play was a hitter, bro. So, I feel blessed. God is good. We did great on those. I hope you guys got some opportunity. But here's the deal. I'm going to read you a book today. I got a great one for you. It's new. Same author, different text. And it's very simple, you guys. Like I said, there's no entitlement here. We have a really nice culture, and I hope you see the benefit. Like, being around you guys who uphold the culture, who vibe the same way I do, like, it's so much better. We work harder, we get better. It's all around, everybody gets to benefit off of it. So I really appreciate you, for real, man. If y'all have been a part of it and are keeping this engine moving, you know what I'm saying? And you are a thruster rather than adding drag. Oh, man, I love you, baby. You have no idea, and that's why, man. I'm excited, and I want to give you good info. I want to help you out, and I really want you to do something with it. I'm not going to let you be all timid and do nothing with all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very, very blessed and honored to be here, and I like it. But that being said, we got to have boundaries. And here's the boundary. During PHILO, I'm not forcing anything on you. You have literally paid to be here now. That means you have given money, put in a credit card to be at this moment. So that being said, I don't care if you believe anything I'm saying. That's not what I'm here for. But if you think it's foo-foo nonsense, that's fine. You are not allowed to say anything. Why? Because it doesn't help the workflow. That's why. It has nothing to do with freedom of speech. I think it's very simple. We need to either focus on stocks or PHILO during this moment. Damn, didn't I just tell you them 550s? So I said, if you had the risk, those just went 30 to 70. I thought I was being too cheap right there. Yeah, but that hit. So like you're seeing, I'm going to go back and forth between stocks and my book. I could read and do things at multiple times. I have that gift, so God is good. But it's very simple. If you want to focus on stocks, focus on stocks. Focus on PHILO, focus on PHILO. That is exactly why we will not get distracted. Good workflow. If you want stocks, you want me to verify anything, I will do that for you, and we'll react to it. But in the meantime, we're going to go back and forth. So get it where you fit in. I hope you like it. PHILO is when I start talking about life. I'm going to talk about life, the Bible, God, everything. Today's a weird one, but all in all, it's just I'm taking my time to read a book. I think my day is done right now. I'm ending my day. If you want to spend time with me, you can. If something happens, I will be there. But anything other than that, I think, you got to go find somewhere else. So, yeah, baby, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. There's your newswire as well. Oh, so that being said, ladies and gentlemen, today's PHILO, I am so excited about it. You know why? It's very economic. Very, actually. We're going to talk about capitalism and socialism. And today, you are going to be introduced to something new that I think over the last 100 years has been misrepresented. And let me just tell you this. This is going to blow your mind today. Because after reading this myself, even I walked away with doubts of capitalism. I know, I'm an evil capitalist, right? Imagine that. But yeah, I think this is very important. Because I'm going to just tell you now, some of you have different beliefs. But if you believe what I believe, and think about it, man. Think about, I do try to help. And I do really believe in empowering people. And even what I talked about with real estate, it's literally the most important thing. And that's what I learned. But with all that being said, man, if you believe what I believe, I hate to break it to you, but capitalism, it does not align with the Lord. It really doesn't. I know. Isn't that sad? Socialism doesn't align with the Lord. A lot of them don't. So are you ready for what I'm about to share with you today? Believe it or not, if you really wanted an economic system that aligned with God, with the Bible, right? It's not capitalism. It is actually something called Distributism. No, it's not communism. No. Yeah, distributism is what it is. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it often gets misrepresented. It's an awkward name, and there's a lot of awkward stuff with it. Again, you're just ripping right now. But it's funny because as I was hearing this, it really captured my attention because I love this topic. But even more so, dude, you're going vertical. No, I don't see anything. I see condemning North Korea, Canada been an ally. I don't see anything else, bro. I think this is just the squeeze. 50% on those calls, though. I got you, G. I got you. You're already positioned and prepared. Now you could do the 550s if you really want. I didn't take them the first time because they were too much, but now they're at a perfect spot. 550s for 20 cents. Wow. Ooh, I kind of want it. Because if you get a big flush, U.S. and Ukraine take key steps towards durable peace at Jeddah meeting. Yeah, that's coming out. State Department, Ukraine express readiness for immediate interim 30-day ceasefire. That's the headline right there. That's what it is. So you might get a little bit. Honestly, those puts are still in play, but now they're getting cheap. Now, it's not cheap considering how much time is there, but at the very least, you're not paying a fucking dollar. These are just $1. You see what I'm saying? So I like it, coin. When you're saying 10, I feel you on that. I would like cheaper, but now all I wanted was 20 cents. But we already have our calls too. So if you think this is going to fade, that 550 at 20 is nice. I like that one. Or if you're going to really, if you want better though, 553 for 70. That's mad expensive, but that'll be the higher quality play. But other than that, I mean, I'm not in it. That's it. Our calls are killing it. That's another 70 right there. So yalla, baby, yalla. All right, word. We're good to go. So point is, man, the stuff that we're going to go over today and this whole capitalism and aligning, I really want to share this with you. And I think you guys will learn a lot of good things. And the part that blew my mind is that I felt really good about this because I already see what we're doing here. And honestly, bro, that's why those of you who are thrusters, you are not drag. God bless you, bro. This community is truly humbling. Like, I don't really know what we did when this all began, but like, I don't even think I comprehended what we have created because it came with bad, but there is a lot of good, and I think it'll flow into this. So we're going to go over all of it. I think your mind will be blown when you'll hear some of this, but here's the deal, man. Above all else, we got to work together and property. That is the answer. Make no mistake. That's why I'm glad I always told you this. But whether you like capitalism, socialism, communism, anything, every single one of these things, they all try to destroy private property. And you have to understand this, you guys. Whether you think capitalism or socialism fails, both of them, if you pull them to their extreme, they don't want you to own property. That is why I'm telling you. Every single one of you, anybody trying to tell you not to own a house hates you. Anybody telling you it'll be impossible hates you. The answer for all of us is owning homes. And if you don't understand how powerful we are, every year, all of us together, same mentality, growing, getting stronger, having good fucking morals for crying out loud. But then owning property and stocks, do you not realize that's amazing right there? You have more power than you think. And the only way you're going to give up power is if more and more people own less and less property. Yes, I believe that. So, today, I am going to read to you G.K. Chesterton. And this one is called The Outline of Sanity. This was written in 1927. I got more right here. United States in joint statement with Ukraine says they will immediately lift pause on intelligence sharing and resume security assistance to Ukraine. They agreed to conclude as soon as possible comprehensive agreement for developing Ukraine's critical mineral resources. Both delegations agreed to name their negotiating teams and immediately begin negotiations towards an enduring peace that provides for Ukraine's long-term security. So yeah, now you're getting positive Ukraine headline pretty much. It sounds good because now they're canceling the intelligence freeze. They say a truce is possible if simultaneously observed by Russia. U.S. discussed prisoner swaps with Russia during truce. And then USW demanding federal government expand enforcement retaliatory tariffs on U.S. imports. USW denouncing latest escalation of government on steel and aluminum. It's coming out now. So yeah, that's going to be a nice little tailwind, but you could fade it eventually. But for now, it's good. I don't know if I'm going to double dip calls. They already doubled up from that bottom, bro. We literally bottom ticked it again. I think this time it sounds better because I'm sure they wouldn't do this after Zelensky's little tantrum last time. I don't think they're going to announce this without more like concrete movement, if that makes any sense. So that's why I think it sounds good, but I mean, we've been fooled on this several times already. So we'll see, but I'm assuming they wouldn't entertain him without like a real concrete agreement. NEO and MSTR on the high. Apple ripping now. Yeah, MSTR is up 5 right now. And Tesla. All righty. So, this is G.K. Chesterton, The Outline of Sanity. Just get ready for this, bro. This is a fire one, bro. I'm telling you, my mind, I love this one. My mind was blown reading this. So call out anything while I read, and yeah, let's get it, baby. CF on State Department. That's why they're going down. And then AOC hit with ethics complaints. All right, that's it, bro. You're already positioned. That's what I'm saying. God is good, bro. We already had plays on this now from the bottom. We could have done a little better, but either way, the ones even for tomorrow, I mean, that was a killer, bro. That's it. We hit all of our puts. We did everything else. So, yeah, just enjoy and call out anything, and let's go from there. The beginning of the quarrel. I have been asked to republish these notes, which appeared in a weekly paper as a rough sketch of certain aspects of the institution of private property, now so completely forgotten amid the journalistic jubilations over private enterprise. The very fact that the publicists say so much of the latter and so little of the former is a measure of the moral tone of the times. A pickpocket is obviously a champion of private enterprise, but it would perhaps be an exaggeration to say that the pickpocket is a champion of private property. The point about capitalism and commercialism, as conducted of late, is that they have really preached the extension of business rather than the preservation of belongings, and have at the best tried to disguise the pickpocket with some of the virtues of the pirate. The point about communism is that it only reforms the pickpocket by forbidding pockets. Oh, banger. Yeah, CF's on the Ukraine news. We're up on Ukraine news right now. Pretty much positive agreements, potential ceasefire. Yeah, bro. Do you get that? That's how he's opening it up. He's saying, well, you know, we keep talking about private enterprise, but he says it should be about private property. And then all these capitalists keep saying private enterprise, and they're championing private enterprise. But think about it. Even a thief agrees with private enterprise. A pickpocket believes in private enterprise. Go get whatever you want. However, go, get something. The pickpocket, whether he steals it or not, that's still private enterprise. If you really think about it. You know, all those scammers, all the Solana guys, guess what? That's private enterprise. So he's saying there's a difference. You could have the virtues of capitalism and private enterprise, but you could kind of behave like a pirate. So he's saying, what good is private enterprise without private property? That's why, so he's criticizing capitalism, but then he's also saying socialism and communism, they're like, well, the only way you reform the pickpocket is by banning pockets. Do you guys see the difference? One masquerades as something else. The other is such an authoritarian, it'll just change everything. Again, I don't think that's the solution to stop a pickpocket, get rid of all pockets. But at the same time, private enterprise unchecked without property values, that's also could be a problem. Pockets and possessions generally seem to me to have not only a more normal, but a more dignified deference than the rather dirty individualism that talks about private enterprise. In the hope that it may possibly help others to understand it, I've decided to reproduce these studies as they stand, hasty and sometimes merely topical as they were. It is indeed very hard to reproduce them in this form because there was additional notes to the controversy largely conducted by others. But the general idea is at least present. In any case, private enterprise is no very noble way of stating the truth of one of the 10 Commandments. But there was at least a time when it was more or less true. The Manchester radicals preached a rather crude and cruel sort of competition, but at least they practiced what they preached. What is this? NTSB Chair Homendi says board remains concerned about significant potential for a future mid-air collision between helicopter and jet near Washington, says Chair Homendi. That's weird. But yeah, NTSB Chair just said they're worried about that. At least they practiced what they preached. The newspapers now praising private enterprise are preaching the very opposite of anything that anybody dreams of practicing. The practical tendency of all trade and business today is towards big commercial combinations, often more imperial, more impersonal, and more international than many a communist commonwealth would ever imagine. Things that are at least collective, if not collectivist. It is all very well to repeat distractedly, what are we coming to with all this Bolshevism? It is equally relevant to add, what are we coming to even without Bolshevism? The obvious answer is monopoly. It is certainly not private enterprise. The American trust is not private enterprise. It would be truer to call the Spanish Inquisition private judgment. Monopoly is neither private nor enterprising. It exists to prevent private enterprise. And that system of trust or monopoly, that complete destruction of property, would still be the present goal of all our progress if there was not a Bolshevist in the world. So if you're not getting it at this point, he's saying private property and the rights of there are getting destroyed as monopolies grow. It doesn't matter if you had communist or capitalist. Doesn't matter what you define it as. If private property and real access to private enterprise is destroyed, that is the problem with the system. Wow. Now, I am one of those who believe that the cure for centralization is decentralization. Stop it. Bro. Homeboy was telling you decentralization over 100 years ago. G.K. Chesterton is a decentralized mother effer. Look at that. Waltz, Ukraine made concrete proposal. Talks got into substantive deals. Will speak to Russian counterpart in coming days. Waltz discussed guarantees Ukraine will have for security. The best cure for centralization is decentralization. It has been described as a paradox. There is apparently something elvish and fantastic about saying that when capital has become too much in the hand of the few, the right thing is to restore it into the hands of the many. The socialists would put it in the hands of even fewer people, but those would be politicians who, as we know, are always administering in the interest of many. That's sarcasm. But therefore, before I put before the reader things written in the very thick of the current controversy, I foresee it will be necessary to preface them with these few paragraphs, explaining a few of the terms and amplifying a few of the assumptions. I was in the weekly paper arguing with people who knew the shorthand of the particular argument, but to be clearly understood, we must begin with few definitions or at least descriptions. I assure the reader that I use words in quite a definite sense, but it's possible that he may use them in a different sense. And to muddle the misunderstanding of the sort does not rise to the dignity of a difference of opinion. So he's saying, if you don't understand the words, we're not having a difference of opinion. I agree. The times I have people and we get in a back and forth and you're like, no, different opinion. No, I don't think so. I don't think some people have a difference of opinion. I think some people are misunderstanding wholly what I am saying, either purposefully or not. But that's what GK is saying. He's saying we can't, if I say capitalist, if I say private property, the words sound the same, but if you understand them differently, we're not going to end up with a difference of opinion. We're ending up with a full misunderstanding of what is happening. So that's why he's going to explain what he's talking about. For instance, capitalism is a very unpleasant word. It is also a very unpleasant thing. Yet the thing I have in mind when I say so is quite different and definable. Only the name is very unworkable word for it. But obviously, we must have some word for it. When I say capitalism, I commonly mean something that may be stated thus: the economic condition in which there is a class of capitalists, roughly recognizable and relatively small, in whose possession so much of the capital is concentrated as to necessitate a very large majority of the citizens serving those capitalists for a wage. This particular state of things can and does exist, and we must have some word for it and some way of discussing it. But this is undoubtedly a very bad word because it is used by other people to mean quite other things. Some people seem to mean merely private property. Others suppose that capitalism means anything involving the use of capital, but that's too literal. It's also too loose and even too large. If the use of capital is capitalism, then everything is capitalism. Bolshevism is capitalism. Anarchist communism is capitalism. And every revolutionary scheme, however wild, is still capitalism. Lenin and Trotsky believe as much as Lloyd George and Thomas that economic operations of day-to-day must leave something over the economic operations of tomorrow. And that is all that capital means in the economic sense. In that sense, the word is useless. My use of it may be arbitrary, but it's not useless. If capitalism means private property, I'm a capitalist. If capitalism means capital, everybody's a capitalist. But if capitalism means this particular condition of capital only paid out to the mass in form of wages, then it does mean something, even if it ought to mean something else. The truth about what we call capitalism ought to be called proletarianism. The point of it is not that some people have capital, but that most people only have wages because they do not have capital. I have made a heroic effort in my time to walk about the world always saying proletarianism instead of capitalism. But my path has been a thorny one due to troubles of misunderstandings. I find that when I criticize the Duke of Northern Berlin for his proletarianism, my meaning does not get home. When I say I should often agree with the Morning Post if it were not so deplorably proletarian, there seems to be a strange momentary impediment to the complete communion of mind with mind. Yet, that would be strictly accurate. For what I complain of in the current defense of existing capitalism is that it is a defense of keeping most men in wage dependence. That is keeping most men without capital. I am not the sort of precision who offers or who prefers conveying correctly what he doesn't mean, rather conveying incorrectly what he does. I am totally indifferent to the term as compared to the meaning. I do not care whether I call one thing or the other by this mere printed word beginning with a C, so long as it's applied to one thing and not the other. I do not mind using a term as arbitrary as a mathematical sign if it's accepted like a mathematical sign. Fire. I do not mind calling property X and capitalism Y, so long as nobody thinks it is necessary that X equals Y. I do not mind saying cat for capitalism and dog for distributism, so long as people understand that the things are different enough to fight like cat and dog. The proposal of the wider distribution of capital remains the same. Senate Thune hopes that tariffs are high enough. He supports them to stop fentanyl. Alberta Energy Minister says he respects what Ontario has done, but it's not the approach for Alberta. Ha. So other side of Canada is disagreeing with Canada now. So yeah, Canada I think is fucking caving, bro. Up over 100% on those cheap calls. So beautiful. Now you can make them free. I bought more than one. So I'm going to just get all my money back and hold a free call. 100% since PHILO has began. The other ones are up 400% if you held. But, you know, not everybody can do that. Bitcoin. Yeah, I think they're caving, bro. And then Zelensky, top aide, says ceasefire will show if Russia wants peace. So now you got positive Ukraine, Canada caving, and then double Canada cave right now. You got more, but yeah. Zelensky, top aide, says different options of security were discussed with U.S. I love it. 105 now. But yeah, that's it, bro. You hit every fucking play today, and now that last one was a free play for tomorrow. I got you, Chad. I got you. So the things are different to fight like cat and dog. The proposal of the wider distribution of capital remains the same. Whatever we call it or whatever we call the present glaring contradiction, it is the same whether we state it by saying there is too much capitalism in the one sense or too little in the other. And it's really quite pedantic to say that the use of capital must be capitalist. We might as fairly say that anything social must be socialist, that socialism can be identified with a social evening or a social glass, which I grieve to say is not the case. So are you getting what he is saying? His problem with capitalism is this. If you constrain society to have a majority of men having to rely on wages because they don't have capital, he doesn't like that. That's the problem with capitalism. You could call it enterprising, but that does not create a society that aligns with good, let alone, you have to think about it. That just, both outcomes lead to the same. Do you not get it? Socialism and communism, if you pull it out to the extreme, you just have a bunch of idiots who will control all the power by the government and by control, and it's going to be authoritarian. That's what happens with socialism, right? What happens with capitalism? You're just going to have a few rich people who literally own everything and everybody has to work. One of them, you're asking daddy government. The other, you are asking the small group of people who own all of the capital and now where men have to work for wages. Do you see what he is saying? That's why he's going to get into it later in this book about distributism. There is an answer to this. There's nothing wrong with making money in capitalism. But this idea that he is starting, that he will put forth, is that it's contradicting. Because if you follow them all to the extreme, both end up with power in the control of a few. And that's where he's saying that's not what we want. You want to be able to both enterprise and grow. You want to be able to have your own property while being able to grow and have the freedom to do things. But if you cannot have the access to gaining capital where you will always be at somebody's mercy, that's not a positive system. But can I tell you something? Do you understand me more now? Seriously. I'm over here telling you all my beliefs. You're like, you charge for PHILO. You're not a good person. No, fuck out of here. You don't get it. Chad, do you not understand my goal from day one? Alberta Energy says Canadian companies are preparing work to be compliant with USMCA. Do you get it or not? I have told you from the fucking moment you have met me, my goal is to make it where what? I don't want you to rely on wages. I know you have wages now, and my goal and what I've tried to show you is how to use those wages, turn it to a long term, and then turn it to a house. My goal and my job is to get you capital and to show you how to use your capital so that you don't have to be reliant on this system. The more we could do this, the more we slow this down. The more we could help people do this, the better. Do you not see it at this point? That's what I believe in. I am a capitalist, but not really. Because if I was a capitalist, I would be a lot greedier. If I was a true capitalist, I really wouldn't give a fuck about you. Do you understand that? I would acquire more and more and more for myself. Again, I think some of you are realizing, that's why I'm saying, the more you complain, I'll keep it to myself then. I will benefit off of it. I still got the news. I'll be 5 minutes faster than everyone now. You tell me. But that's not what I wanted. This is not what I started out here to do. Your long terms, real estate, all of this. That's why I'm saying don't let Don Lemon be hungrier than you. All of you who have taken what I've done and you have become a dirty capitalist. You know why? Because you took the way to help people not rely on wages, and some of you took it and then you made a course and started selling it to people. Do you see the problem? Do you see what I've gone through in 5 years? In 5 years, I have taken people out of this situation. But along the course, I've watched it branch out in other directions. Even to it coming back and they're like, you're an evil capitalist. I'm like, what? But do you see the goal? I want you to see the goal, Chad. The goal is to make sure you get capital. The goal is so that you will never have to rely on wages. You may have to today, but if you plan and use your wages properly today, you won't have to in the future. That's the whole point, bro. So go, cry to me about today. Cry to me and sacrifice your future because you want it today. No. That's what I'm saying. I could give you an answer down the road where you don't rely upon wages. Where you get access to capital, where now you get more control rather than being controlled by the small few who has the capital. Y'all don't feel me, bro. I've been doing this since day one, and I've gotten good out of it, and I've also been crucified for it. I've gotten people who understand it and people don't. So make no mistake, I need you to get this, Chad. That's why we're here. That's why I keep telling you, I'm not a pastor, bro. Fuck out of here. My gift is this. That's it. I don't think God was like, yeah, this Josh guy, wow, I put him through this life journey and I made him so nice to people and I made him... No, you think God made me... He would have made me timid. I know what I can provide. I am here for that answer. If you don't want it, then you don't even care about your life. For real. You want to be relying on wages and other men and women your whole life, then you don't get it. That is something I feel from heaven itself to this earth. God has put me here to get anybody who does not want that out of that position. Because I can. I actually can, and I've actually done it. Not my own life, thousands of others. So make no mistake, that is why you are here right now, right here today, and every other day into the future. Do you get it? Don't tell me about today. Oh, the long term's down, the long term's up. I don't care. You know that, right? That's why I'm saying stop gambling away your money. Do you not get it? Give me 1,000 people that in 10 years will not be reliant upon wages. We will change the world, my friend. You want to insist on being reliant upon wages. You want to insist on giving your money away, not taking your future seriously. I can't help you. You can't help me. That's the reality. Do you want to get out of it or not? That's what we're here for. And I hope you do the same for others. You take care of yourself. You take care of your family. But you don't need to be extra nice. You don't need to be extra mean. The goal is that we do not want to be reliant upon wages as we get on in life. And the more people we get on that, the better for all of us. Even together, we could have our own community, bro. What are you saying? That's why I'm looking at all of you who own houses, own assets, own companies, not reliant. My brother, we will change the world. But if you're not getting, that's why we're here. That's why I don't believe in socialism. I don't like the communism. That's why I could criticize all of it. These capitalists are greedy as fuck too. All these rich people, I don't fucking like them. The answer isn't enterprise. The answer is private property. The answer is all of us individually owning more private property, the land, and then the stocks. But if you don't get it, if we don't do this, we will be reliant. Y'all asking me, oh, your morality, why do you buy this? Because I'm not trying to be reliant and be reliant upon wages my whole life. That's why. That's exactly why. What are you telling me? If I wanted to be all moral, I'd live on the mountain. Oh, Josh, you're not, oh, you missed the point. Do you get it? I see opportunity, good assets. We don't have to be reliant. People are like, oh, you going to do that? That's not Jesus. I thought you Jesus. You don't even care about Jesus. Why are you trying to talk to me about him now? The goal was to not be reliant upon wages. That's what I'm getting to for me and my people at every corner. Anything else, you're bullshitting. Do you get it or not, Chad? That's why we're here. That's why you have the long term. That's why I don't care about today. What matters is when all the dust settles, when it's all said and done, you're going to look me one day in the eyes and be able to say, are you relying upon the wages or not? Are you relying upon another man or not? You should be able to say, no, I'm not. That's why I ate shit. That's why I sacrificed. That's why I relied, and I was a slave for a little bit, but I was freed. Y'all don't feel me, bro. Don't lose sight of the goal, man. That's what every single move, every single option trade, every single stock trade, every single time we look for a house, bro, that is what we're trying to get to. That's what we need. Don't forget, don't get so short-sighted you're missing out on what it is. They all want it, bro. The socialists going to try to stop us. The capitalists are going to try to stop us. I don't give a fuck. Neither should you. We get private property. We own our stocks. We will not become reliant upon wages. That is what it is, Chatadonia. That's why. That's why I'm saying I don't want any of you. That's why I was telling you earlier. I don't want to hear what you can't get. I don't want to hear what the wages are limiting. Because this is the year we say, fuck all that, and you're going to go and get anything you want. But you have to work, and you got to put it in. We are all going to eat a little bit of shit. But the whole point is the end goal. We end by not being reliant on wages. Make no mistake. If you see anything but that, you're missing it. Nevertheless, there is enough verbal vagueness about socialism to call for a word of definition. Socialism is in a system which makes the corporate unity of society responsible for all of its economic processes, or all of those affecting life and essential living. If anything important is sold, the government has sold it. If anything important is given, the government has given it. If anything important is even tolerated, the government is responsible for tolerating it. This is the very reverse of anarchy. It is extreme enthusiasm for authority. It is in many ways worthy of the moral dignity of the mind. It is a collective acceptance of the very complete responsibility. But it is silly of socialists to complain of our saying that it must be a destruction of liberty. It is almost equally silly of anti-socialists to complain of the unnatural and unbalanced brutality of the Bolshevists in crushing political opposition. A socialist government is one in which, in its nature, it does not tolerate any true and real opposition. For the government provides everything, and it's absurd to ask a government to provide an opposition. All of you saying this is not socialism, no, it is socialism. That's what it is. That's what he was trying to explain. You don't misunderstand and try to say we're differing on opinion. We're not. It's a system which makes the corporate unity of society responsible for all economic processes. That's why it's the government allowing things, whether it's economic success or even tolerability. He is giving you an analogy that's funny. If you think an anarchist is crazy, you're like, what do you mean no government? Yeah, the socialist, it's the same thing, just reverse. Instead of saying, I don't want any government, it's an extreme enthusiasm towards that responsibility. But that's why he's saying, why do you think freedom of speech doesn't happen with socialism, you guys? He's even saying it's silly to even ask for that. So you want a system that is developed around the government providing these things, and you want the government to allow its own opposition? That's silly. That's why when things get more and more socialist, you noticed opposition disappears. So think about it. That's why some of you don't realize my problem I had in the last 4 years. I'm not really against that many democratic liberal policies. I actually think we should help more people. Like I'm saying, I'm probably not as capitalistic as you think I am. My goal is to get as many men and women who are willing out of the clutches of wage slavery. That's what God put me on this earth for. Anything else, I don't really give a shit. But do you see my problem? My problem in the last 4 years, you couldn't have opposition. That's sickening. That's the shit I hate. I've clowned on Donald Trump. I have already told you and given you opposition. That's why with freedom, we could have these discussions. But I really hope you understand why this is such a bad thing. Maybe you like the acceptance of responsibility. But my brother, make no mistake. The minute we allow the lack of this opposition, and that's why too, maybe you should kind of admire your opposition a little bit. Make sure, there's some conversations I'm not going to have. I'm not going to deal with that, but I'm still listening. And I hope you do too. Because at the end of the day, without opposition, that's where you go into the extremes. This is 101 shit, though, guys. It's kind of sad we forgot this in the modern era. You cannot go to the Sultan and say reproachfully, you have made no arrangements for your brother dethroning you and seizing the caliphate. You don't go to the medieval king and say, kindly lend me 2,000 spears and 1,000 bowmen as I wish to raise a rebellion against you. Still less can you reproach a government which professes to set up everything, because it has not set up anything to pull down all it has set up. Opposition and rebellion depend on property and liberty. Let me say this one more time. Opposition and rebellion depend on property and liberty. That's why all these mother effers walking around telling you not to buy property and acting like they're rebels and causing a social movement, you fucking sheep. What was wrong with you? The real revolutionaries are rolling over in their grave as you have given up your liberties and thinking you are a rebellion pushing society to a new era of change. What's fucking wrong with you? You are advocating your brothers and sisters and peers to never own property, and you think you are having a revolution? All you're doing is empowering the people who already own shit. SPY ripping, European stock futures, pair losses. Ukraine ceasefire. That's it. That's what's driving it up. That's what the wire's saying. Bonds on the low. Wow. Do you get it? He's gonna go in depth, but you should get that first sentence. Dude, there's no real opposition and rebellion without real property and liberty. That's why, bro, when you felt like you were gonna get banned all the time and canceled and this, bro, that wasn't real liberty. We didn't have any real change. All these people, bro, look at the house prices. Stop it. No property, no liberty. You're not going to get real change, dude. You're not going to ever. The only people who benefit off of that scenario are the people who already have it. Ontario Ford, Lutnick agreed to meet on Thursday. So there you go, round 2. I should have held that first one, bro. What a bottom tick. 130 on that other call. We already made it free, but beautiful. Just watch you know. Dog, we killed it today, bro. I'm very glad. We hit everything. 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 Yeah, so you got a meeting there. Yeah, 150 on the calls, big homie. We should have held more. Your only regret, you didn't buy more. Thank you, baby. Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys being members, man. Because, again, I'd be doing this alone if we didn't have the right setup. So I like having a good workflow. I like this. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting you these plays in the middle of everything we're doing. So I'm just glad that we have it like this. That's all I want. That's all I want. Yeah, Ford will discuss renewed USMCA ahead of deadline on Thursday. So that's positive. So now another meeting, Ontario. Now they're meeting with Lutnick, positive on Thursday. So a mix of Canada positive, Ukraine positive, Canada, Ukraine. Here we are. That could be the bottom for a little. I mean, I was telling you, it'll be the bottom until we get the next volatility. But for now, let's see. But remember, you have CPI tomorrow. $3.20 to $10 on those. Oh yeah, if you bought the bottom on near them, I stream alerted one of them. If you held that one was a fucking banger. But even the other shitty ones, they're up 150 now. So literally, like what, 40 cents to another dollar. I did that like 3 times today. There was another play that was like 30, 40 cents to $2 today. So yeah, those are hitters. Well, God bless, man. Amen. Amen. All right. Well, just all you got to do is ride. That's it. See, that's the beauty about being early and prepared. We don't have to do anything right now. That's why every time this will happen, motherfuckers are like, do something. I'm like, bro, we already did it. So yeah, those are up almost 200% now. I already made it free too, but fuck. Another one, bro. Oh, dude, if I held that other one though. Yeah, that would have went $1 to 10. So yeah, that was 1,000%. The one I sold for 30, that literally went up 1,000%. Damn, that was mine. Yeah, that was killer. Bro, I bought him, ticked the fuck out of it with the highest volatility we've seen. And then we got a nice double dip on the out of the monies for tomorrow. So yeah, that was just good. Cad, there is news. Yeah, Ford says he's going to meet with Lutnick, Ontario. Okay, I did a small put. I got a small put. I called out 2 of them on the stream alert. You could go for the ghetto one or the closer to the money. But this might very, very small. Actually, this one might not. Give it a couple minutes and then we'll see. Yeah, Canada pretty much caving. Electricity surcharge will be suspended temporarily. Okay, never mind. I might just sell those. No. Well, wait, because it's going to pop off that. They just suspended it. So that's it. All that Canada hype suspended. Yeah, no, get out of that one. No put. Back out. It's still break even. Yeah, retreat. Or go small. Go with the cheap one, the 550, or you go closer for like 20, 30 bucks, but because you're going to get a fat drop eventually that you'll profit off of. But if you get another one of these positive headlines and then it's already squeezy, it's not worth it. Just back out. That's what I was saying right there. If that flip, we could have made another 30, 40, but now you got another good headline. I'm going to get away from it. Ontario Premier. Cooler heads need to prevail. You are the bitch who was... Fucking idiot. These guys. He's like, cooler heads. You're the one who did it all. You are literally the one who did not have the cool head. What are you saying? And then Zivra came back up. Oh, they have earnings after the bell. My stream alert's not working. Email. That's the best way. And then, too, if you guys read it, too, because if you cancel, sign up, even on the stream alerts thing, it just tells you that complicates the process. So bear with me, but all stream alerts questions, please email. I've never really gone over them on stream. We have a dedicated support team that'll help you, but that's your best way, and you got to be patient with it. Yeah, you're ripping. You could go late stage call, but we're already up 200%, bro. 1,000% if you held the near the monies. All right. Ontario citing federal minister. Ottawa will respond dollar for dollar if U.S. increases steel and aluminum tariffs. So that one sounds negative, but I think the market's taking the other headline. Well, there you go. 200%. Wow. 30 and change to $1.50 now. It's literally the third fucking one, bro. That's it. You're now higher on the morning, bro. Like, you're literally above the opening candle. You can't make this shit up. That's wicked. We've literally moved like 100 points off the fucking bottom. Yo, WVE. Oh, Wave Life? Nah, just a hype play. Trump speaks to reporters at the White House going to buy a Tesla. Oh. Are they going to film it? All right, Chad. You're just taking off. Go get ready for some of the Trump headlines. Those are going to be coming in soon. Oh, these crackheads talking?
Last 3 or 4 weeks. And then
this is fucking Ontario premiere?
Did they catch their attention? That's an understatement. They caught their attention. But I'm not
fucking
out.
penguin looking ass.
I'm not out to hurt the American people.
All right. I think PHILO's over, Chad. It's already about to be power hour.
Apologize.
We're going to have to continue this later.
We have to get to this point.
I'll free the Chads.
Sometimes
200%.
You have to play your cards, and
1,500% on the original.
And hopefully,
did it again.
We're going to have a very good, constructive conversation with the secretary when we get down there. But my goal in any discussion, any negotiation, be it
I hope whatever stream any other Chad went to, or the lack of the $7. That one cost you guys again today.
Cool everyone down.
I know.
Cooler heads have to prevail.
I know.
And we need to
this one's lagged a little bit.
A very productive conversation. And I truly feel it was the right decision to move forward and bring Minister LeBlanc down, along with the ambassador. If she's free, I have to reach out to her. This is, folks, this has been moving at rocket speed right now, going back and forth. And we had to make a decision.
I love it.
So I made that decision.
You guys don't think, literally. And now we bottom ticket, and they can't be like, you're pumping it. Bro, we did it with 20% of the people in here. Most of the world didn't even know what we were doing. No excuses, baby. Wow. That's almost fucking 2,000% off the bottom. The other cheap ones are up 250 for tomorrow. But, yeah, we got our bottom tick in there. We had to end PHILO. Trump says Tesla's a great product, going to buy a Tesla. And then that's it, man. CNBC, MSNBC, you're running now. This is squeezing. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm going to go pee now. GG.
Kind of strategy, rather than trying to be an appeaser like some other premiers.
Well, first of all, thank you for that question, Robert. What I'm doing the American media for is to inform the American people. You know, I saw a poll that came out the other day, just recently.
No, I did say the strike price on that one.
Of Americans
I call them out during members only. I showed you guys all of them, and then it was on the stream alerts, and then I called out the cheap one for y'all.
Premiers, all CEOs of businesses. Go out there and inform the
don't know
American
what to tell y'all.
people.
No
This isn't
excuses
just
on
gonna
members
hurt,
only.
Canada, and it will hurt
And then if you
Canada
missed it, you
and
should have
Ontario.
became a member
It's gonna
next
hurt
time.
the U.S.
Stop
and it's
playing
going to
with
hurt badly. We're already
wow, the
seeing
wire
inflation
broke.
go up
I
in
forgot.
the U.S. And that's not going to be good. I'll
Okay,
tell
let me go
you,
pee. Burp.
I know the Americans fairly well. They're loving, caring people. And as soon as costs start going up, inflation, plants start shutting down, you can't attack your number one customer, Canada, and not expect a response. And we responded, and they came back. And I'm a business person. I want to sit down and negotiate this and stop the bleeding. As we're going at each other, China's sitting back laughing, building their critical mineral arsenal. And you know, the words Chinese president said the other day should be concerning for the whole world when he said, we aren't ready just for an economic war, any type of war. That's concerning, to say the least.
Are you concerned that you think the president was watching you? Are you concerned that suspending the surcharge that you've put on electricity will be considered a win by Trump?
No, I wouldn't call it a win whatsoever, because we still have it in our toolkit that we can use at any given time. Again, I mentioned to the governors, I apologize we have to go to this extent. But remember, folks, we never started this war. President Trump started this economic war against Canada. It was unprovoked. I truly believed that we'd move forward and it would grow both economies, would create more jobs, more economic prosperity. Well, this has gone the other way. The economy right now, I'm concerned about it. And if a recession does happen, it's a self-made recession by one person and one person only. So I just want to move forward. I'm asking for the people of Ontario and Canada's support. I want to thank them for the thousands of messages I'm getting, even people that disagree with me. As some people say, I disagree with you 99%, but you're doing a great job. Keep going. I need everyone's support as Team Canada as we move forward, because these negotiations are going to be the toughest we've ever had.
Thank you.
Yes.
No deal. What changed?
I apologize.
You said zero tariffs before, or there was no deal. This is a pause.
It's called,
What's changed?
well, it's called an olive branch. When you're negotiating with someone, they call you and they hand
Trump
over
referring
an
to
olive branch.
tariffs. The U.S. had to do
The
this.
worst thing I think I could do
Okay,
as
we got
Premier
Trump
of Ontario
comments
is ignore them.
saying economy is going to blow it away. Says Tesla's a great product. Says going to buy a Tesla. And then, yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Ba-da-ba-ba-bop. All righty. Well, I wanted to let that play a little bit. It says I have to get workers back and factories open. So, yeah, these are the reports for the executive order that's going to be coming in. Mm-mm. The executive order? I think it's going to be, what was it about? Oh, I'm blanking. Something with wages. And then now, again, they're going to get ready. The tariff stuff just comes in at midnight. So we're going to see what happens from there. Oh, yeah. Last time we ripped Power Hour. I mean, this one was a weird mix, but we'll see how it is. And that's why I said I had that one put. Just be on the lookout for those. Again, we kind of did that stop and go. But if there might be a random sell-off. There's a couple plays there, but you do have to take the risk on that. I don't have levels on the future, just SPY. Trump says Musk has never asked him for a favor. So just back to the levels on the upside. Mm-hmm. Ah! The TLT did the opposite. I made mine free, and that was actually ended up working, but at the end of the day, there was a lot of crazy moves. Today was a wild one. I can't believe we did what we did, but this was difficult, but the back and forth, even this last 2 weeks, let's find out. But sadly, I don't know if tomorrow's going to be any easier, because tomorrow you're going to have to do that. Today's PHILO call was called The Outline of Sanity, yes, by G.K. Chesterton. Very good one. There's that put move if you want it. Just go the same strikes I told you guys earlier. Those are the ones I'd be eyeing. Again, you get closer to the money. What was that one we just flipped? Yeah, they're cheap now, actually. They're cheaper, but you still need it to, like, die. Bank of Canada announcement won't matter as much. And then you're going to get Trump any minute now. Markets are going to go up and down, but we have to rebuild our country, says Trump. And welcome to Power Hour. You're waiting for the homies in Cabo San Lucas. Let's go, baby. Please be safe out there, okay? Don't wind up like getting kidnapped. Okay? And you guys don't do drugs, okay? That's usually a bad way to get kidnapped or an easy way. Don't do it. Don't do it. All righty. All right, give me a sec.
Tariffs that we should be worried about, but it's the process. Listen.
I think you have to say that there's in the range of, I'd say still slightly below, a 50% chance of a recession starting this year.
And it's not just hyperbole either. American Airlines yesterday said its first quarter loss is going to be roughly double its prior guidance. Delta Airlines yesterday cut its profit outlook in half. In fact, the CEO there, Ed Bastian, calling this year so far, quote, a parade of horribles. And we also got weak forecasts this morning out of retailers Dick's Sporting Goods and Kohl's. So a lot of alarms are being raised about the strength of this economy, particularly as consumer and business sentiment sour.
Absolutely. And let's zero in on the consumer because their spending really drives the U.S. economy. More than a quarter of those surveyed in a New York Fed survey believe that their year-ahead financial situation will be somewhat or much worse off. So you're looking at this jump here to 27.4% in February. That marks the highest reading in about 15 months. The survey also finds that consumers' outlook for overall inflation does hold steady at around 3%, even as they see faster price growth for the essentials. We're talking about gas, food, medical care, and rent. So you add it all up and you get a growth scare that now has investors worried about a potential recession. Romain?
Let's kick things off to the close. Liz Ann Saunders, the chief investment strategist with Charles Schwab. And Liz, I always love talking to you on days like today because I have no idea what's happening today. We were in correction territory in the S&P. Then it does appear that there is some sort of concessions being made either on the U.S. side or the Canadian side that's now getting stocks at least back up to the waterline. Makes sense, not just of today, but really the last 3 or 4 weeks here where I think the market is just kind of listless.
Well, lovely that you think I know any better than you do, Romain. That this is a bit chaotic just in terms of the manner that we're getting these announcements. And I think what's important is we know we're going to get these knee-jerk days. I think today and the reversal was a combination of whatever negotiations are happening between the United States and Canada with regard to the increased tariffs that have been put on, but also news about a potential ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. So I think that was enough in a very oversold market to bring some buyers back in. And in fact, it's interesting today because the 3 best performing sectors are what we call the growth trio: tech, communication services, consumer discretionary. That's what houses the Magnificent Seven. They're at the top of the leaderboard today. And at the bottom of the leaderboard are year-to-date leaders, healthcare and staples. So you're still getting a lot of whipsaw action. And it's certainly tricky for long-term investors, really tricky for traders. And I think that type of backdrop is likely to continue, at least near term.
Are you actually encouraged, though, at all by some of the price action we've seen over the past couple of weeks? Because you talk about this idea of those 3 sectors that you mentioned with regards to tech and discretionary being up. And that seems to suggest that there are a lot of people that really do want to be invested in this market. They just want maybe a more stable backdrop, I guess, in which to do it.
Yeah, and I think sector rotations on a day-to-day or weekly basis are likely to continue to be fairly fierce. I mentioned just the differential between the action today versus year-to-date. Healthcare is the best performing sector year-to-date. Only 1 week, and it was last week, was it the best performing sector in the week. So you get these wild swings. And broadly, it's this shift from defensive positioning to maybe hopes that we get a little bit more of a cyclical lift. We also are very oversold in a lot of segments of the market. We talk about the absence of a correction yet at the index level for the S&P, but at the average member level, the maximum drawdown this year is 14%. It's more than 30% 3% for the NASDAQ. So that does breed opportunity. It's often found under the surface. And I think the fuller story of what's going on in the market is told under the surface of the indexes, because the indexes are still biased by the larger names. This recent period of time, it's been large cap value that's been the driver, but there's still that large bias. So it's important in that backdrop to look under the surface of these cap-weighted indexes.
You know, people talk about how sentiment has really taken a very hard turn. Anxiety has basically replaced optimism inside of 3 weeks. How much of this is being driven by the Trump trade simply being unwound? And if so, how far along that process do you think we are? Are we like 2/3 of the way through that?
Well, here's the rub. You can look at investor sentiment as falling in one of two buckets, either attitudinal measures of sentiment, survey-based data, or behavioral measures of sentiment. So the one that's gotten a lot of attention recently is American Association of Individual Investors, that saw a huge surge in the percentage of bears and a big plunge in the percentage of bulls. The rub is that even AAII actually does a survey tracking the equity exposure of their members. And equity exposure is only about 2 percentage points off what was near an all-time high, this recent cycle high. Only last week did we start to see it show up a little bit in fund flows. The week before last week, you had $24 billion come into U.S. large cap equity funds. So it's more of a, what they're saying suggests a lot of bearishness and maybe some complacency has come off the boil and froth has come off the boil, but it hasn't really been matched on the behavioral side yet. It's when you see the combination that tends to serve as a little bit more definitive a contrarian indicator.
Okay, so as we see firms like HSBC or Citi reduce their weighting in U.S. stocks to neutral from overweight, that's the call, but it hasn't necessarily been followed up by action just yet, has it?
Well, in terms of just expressing bearishness about the U.S. equity market but not having adjusted positions, that's the differential. And that's not uncommon. When we had the first big whoosh down in the 2022 bear market into those June lows, you saw it on the attitudinal side, a record amount of bearishness, but it wasn't matched on the behavioral side. It wasn't until October that you saw the combination of behavioral panic and kind of, attitudinal panic. We're more in that mid-year 2022 backdrop from a sentiment perspective, and that's what I'm keeping an eye on.
Dude, Trump says he's looking at reducing tariffs on Canada now. Asked if he'd reduce it, says probably so.
Do you see any sort of material
what the fuck
of getting back to those all-time highs, or at least close to them, and which were, I think, just 3 weeks ago?
What?
Sure, I think it's possible. It probably would take a combination of things, certainly more certainty on the policy front, inclusive of tariffs and maybe some of these tariffs either being taken off or a little bit more.
I want to play it, but we already got one. And then I'm like, these are already like up and down at the same time.
Obviously fed into confidence. It's
dude, that's what the quote says. And he said egg prices have came down, interest rates have came down.
Quarterly earnings.
And then Musk says Tesla's going to double vehicle output.
We had a very strong fourth quarter with the benefit now of hindsight, but it's not translating into better numbers for any of the 4 quarters in 2025. So I think it would also have to manifest itself in some stabilization in that downward trend to 2025 earnings estimates, because although we've eased some of the valuation excess from last year, courtesy of a correction,
that could be
we still have that decelerating denominator.
Maybe get a little bit more time on those.
And the PE. I think you would need to see some stability there too. That also requires less uncertainty.
All right, Lizanne, I have to leave it there. Always wonderful to talk to you on update, down day, or any day in between. The chief investment strategist.
Trump on cutting tariffs, looking at it.
The president of the United States continues to speak about the tariff situation, now saying that he may back off doubling those steel and aluminum tariffs to 50%. Remember, they were originally supposed to be 25%.
All right, so there you go. You're already coming down a little bit. Be careful on those. I wanted one, but I'm still the other plays we have up 150. I'm gonna still be riding those out. I was gonna grab one. I did it in and out real quick. I'm not liking it, but yeah, I mean the 550 put is still in play. I want a call. I already have a call, and then we had the nice bottom, but I am trying to think because like I don't want to get too far. I don't want to spend too much, but I want to have enough time to capture it if we go up. But this is already like a big move. That's what sucks. You're getting good news at the top. I'll let you know if 50% tariffs are going into effect. So, yeah, that means that was just all today, just talk. So the whole brand new news headline that brought everything down was just talk. Mm-hmm. It is crazy, bro. It's crazy. They back off. I don't know. I kind of want to do it, though. I don't like the ones. Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, we need to wait till it drop if you want it. Or, because again, the only thing you could buy is far out the monies. We're already up fucking 150% on those, man. So, we'll see. Yeah, he said that until Ontario back down. But that's it. I mean, let's be real here. I said it. Canada retaliated, and nobody made a big deal. Nobody said anything. That's why he did it. And then Trump hits them back, and now everyone's like, oh, but then now they pull back, and he pulls back. So, yeah, not bad. There's only an expensive one you could play, bro. There's only one way to play this today. If you want to get it late, or you wait a little bit more. That was weird. That was weird. Because again, you literally had it where this one just the good news is coming in after you have rallied legitimately 10 points off the bottom. All right. Well, we only got 45 minutes left. I like it, but I'll just hold what we have. We got a nice one. We got a nice one for tomorrow. Yeah, SPY is green. Only thing red is the Dow right now. I'm surprised, though. You would think that backing off the tariffs, I mean, the news came out at the same exact price. So it's really a question of what we would have done without that. And then again, now you have the premium effect of all of it. Oh, yeah, we're going down. This is Carlisle. Okay, hold on. I didn't get a protein. I went to the bathroom. And then I had to do something else. All right, hold on.
Things in a whole different
Happy
world.
power hour.
It's 6 times more power intensive per dollar revenue than AI data centers. So if you're already power constrained, there's no possible way you're going to bring all of this aluminum smelting into the United States.
That was Carlisle's Chief Strategy Officer of Energy Pathways, Jeff Curry, speaking with our very own Alex Steele earlier today about bringing manufacturing back to the U.S., particularly when it comes to aluminum. They're speaking at CERAWeek in Houston. I want to continue the conversation now on these tariffs on aluminum and steel imports from Canada and bring in Ed Gresser. He is Vice President and Director for Trade and Global Markets at the Progressive Policy Institute. Ed, great to speak with you. I want to get a sense, first of all, because tariffs on aluminum and steel imports is not new. We saw this back in 2018. What was the cost of it back then, and how does that change in 2025 with the currently proposed 50% tariffs?
Well, the cost of it then was 25% tariff on most steel, 10% on most aluminum, and with exemptions for most of our imports from Canada and Mexico. So Canada supplies 6 million tons of steel a year, Mexico about 3 million. Canada supplies about 60% of all the primary aluminum we use in the United States. So this is a big change, a big increase in costs for manufacturers, for cars, for appliance makers, for home builders. It looks to me like the White House is trying to run a higher cost, higher price economy, and viewing that as a way to increase the manufacturing sector in the United States. I don't quite see the logic of that.
Well, I am curious. I mean, when we talk about at least the shorter term impact of this, is the idea that things will still be made, things will still be sold, but there'll just be a higher price tag on them? Or should we kind of prepare ourselves for the idea that there will just be less supply of those things? And I'm talking more about the finished products out there, Ed, whether it's cars or even something as pedestrian as, an aluminum baseball bat for our kids.
It's a little bit of both. The long-term effect of the last round of steel and aluminum tariffs has been the reduction in use of steel and aluminum in the United States. So we used to use about 100 million tons of steel. Now it's about 93 million. Aluminum use is down as well. As home builders and as construction companies and as manufacturers try to economize and use less of them because the price is higher. So you're going to see some higher prices of consumer goods, some attempts by the users, using industries to economize. And at the end, the manufacturing sector, goods using sectors are a little bit smaller. That's a longer-term outcome. The short-term outcome is higher prices for consumer goods and also for industrial construction.
Ed, you led the economic research unit at the U.S. Trade Representative's office during the first Trump administration. And I'm curious as to how much modeling there was for different tariff levels back then. I'm just trying to get a sense of the process and thinking for how they're going about coming up with these tariffs this time around. Sometimes it feels like it's by whim, and it certainly comes off that way, but I'm guessing that there is some work being done behind the scenes.
First time around, I don't believe there was a lot of modeling for the metals tariffs. There was a lot more preparatory work done for tariffs on Chinese goods, and they did try at that time to focus on tariff increases on things that were more easily substitutable that you could get from other countries, and things that were kind of less consumer sensitive. I don't think that was true of the metals tariffs back then, and I don't think the outcome shows a lot of foresight. This time around, there's a lot less foresight you can tell. I've never seen a case where the U.S. government announced 3 different tariff systems within the space of a week.
Yeah.
And that just causes chaos. And it's not possible that they've thought this through in advance. This is reacting to events on the ground and trying to hit back when Canada hits back against us.
Assuming these tariffs do go through, Ed, are you worried at all about an economic downturn, if not a recession altogether?
Well, there will be less growth than there would otherwise be. Imports are about 13% of GDP. You can overstate the damage that trade reductions can do to the U.S. Mm-hmm. But the International Monetary Fund says it like this. A big increase in tariffs plays out like a negative supply shock, reducing output and adding to inflation. That is what the outcome will be. How large it is not quite sure. But you can definitely see, as you've been talking about, a lot of uncertainty and a lot of red lights flashing on the dashboard.
Yeah.
GDP growth estimates, financial markets, consumer confidence. You can see the administration shifting gears from saying last year we'll defeat inflation and quickly bring down prices to access to cheap goods is not the essence of the American dream.
Yeah.
It's very strange to see that sort of shift in rhetoric.
Yeah.
And it suggests that they don't see things looking very good ahead.
All right, Ed, great stuff. We have to leave it there. Up against the break here. Ed Gresser, Vice President and Director for Trade and Global Markets at the Progressive Policy Institute. Our focus on the economy today and a focus on the retail space. Dick's Sporting Goods, those shares down after its profit outlook trailed street expectations. We'll discuss next in Top Calls with a big focus on the economy. And here's a big focus right now on commodities. If you're wondering what all this tariff news means for the markets, take a look at what it's done for copper on the day. This is Bloomberg.
All right. Sell-off doesn't concern me. Musk says he plans to remain CEO of Tesla. Trump, I don't see a recession at all. Many years of gratitude. We had a lot of good plays. A lot of good plays today. You did good. Yo, wait, what happened? Were you guys just trying to throw members for me to get back on here? Maverick, Nubbit, Mr. Mario, Johnny P. Good, Mr. Francisco. They don't know, baby. They don't know. Ba-da-ba-ba-bop. All right. Oh, man. I'm tired, bro. Is your best day by far? Well, not everybody could say the same, but I'm glad you did good, baby. I'm glad you did good. Post the plays, get a long term, and that's it. The country is going to boom. That's what Trump says. He says, I will label violence on Tesla's domestic terrorism. Fuck yeah. Musk will be careful on interruptions to Social Security benefits. Wow. So now it is domestic terrorism to vandalize a Tesla. Who would have thought? We will be careful on interruptions. Kind of is. Well, I mean, because you guys got to think about it. You don't know. Oh, SMCI, they're kind of popping. Check news on that. Because, like, dude, I was thinking about it this morning. Have you seen the Tesla videos? Dude, these people are going crazy. Like, now if you buy a Tesla, you have to legitimately think about it getting vandalized. Bro, you have a bunch of weird-ass liberals on Twitter saying how you should throw a rock through the windshield of every Tesla that you see. That's batshit, dude. That's not even like norm. That's crazy. That's like me telling you to protest Donald Trump. We should destroy everything that is orange. You know what I'm saying? Let's go fuck up all the orange trees. No more mangoes. You know what I'm saying? Sunny D has no place here no more. You know what I'm like? What? All because of what? For why? Just because it doesn't make any sense. So yeah. It's crazy. Hitler had a Mercedes. Hitler made Volkswagen. One of the biggest auto groups in the world right now, today. But either way, I just think it's just sad because you got to think not only have like the sales numbers moved, but like you legitimately, you have people that are like, now you have to think about this if you buy a car. Like, you're like, oh, well, what if it gets, it's just like putting a Trump flag on your car. People will worry about vandalize. And now it's like the whole car is a Trump staple. Like, what? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, he said, I'll talk to Putin, but it takes two to tango. Very optimistic about the country. We'll have the greatest markets we've ever had. See, it's funny because he says, I don't care about the market, and then he'll say something like that. And then you're like, wait, so do you not care? I hope to have a ceasefire in the coming days. It all sounds good, bro. Trump, big meeting with Russia tomorrow. Okay, as long as Zelensky doesn't mess this one up. You scared to wear a Nike hat or a red Nike? I don't care. I mean, man, bro, go ahead. Bro, if I be wearing, if I'm in a Tesla and somebody really try to fuck with me, I'm gonna run them over, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really scared of a fucking, liberal. It's just kind of dumb that they're actually doing this. That's what I'm like. It's kind of like the Canadians symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck is? Why are we doing this, bro? Like, why? Stupid, bro. It's stupid. All right, well, Trump is going back and forth with this, like, half of it is like, I don't care about the market, then he says it's going to be good, and then we have this, so, yeah, we'll see what happens. Trump, I help buying a Tesla boost Tesla sales. That's what he said. That is what he said. Oh, I guess. Yeah, we've already unwound all of the... This was the second, this was Canada caving. We've already unwound that. Right here, Trump said no more, maybe no more tariffs. And then, yeah, now we're back. I have a play I like. Oh, okay, I thought I did it. But I think I'm just being greedy. That's it. Merck wins ruling in Gardasil safety litigation, will not face more than 200 vaccine injury lawsuits. I forgot about that. CPI tomorrow. Do we dump if CPI is low because rate cut off? No. I'm saying it's just, you already saw it with the non-farms. I think tomorrow could still be a big day just because what it is. But at the end of the day, just like the non-farms, depending on the type of data, people might look right through it. So the fears are so bad right now, or AKA they're such the boogeyman and kind of irrational that people will look through the data depending on what it says. So they will say, oh, well, CPI's low, but still Trump's a bad man, or this is going to happen, and then this, and then that's what we saw with the non-farms. Non-farms were good, and they were like, well, the next one's going to be bad because we're scared of Elon. So, yeah, I think PPI might actually have a little bit more on Thursday than this one does right here. Yeah, or they'll say data from the last admin 100%. I mean, the talk with Canada, that's the thing, right? At the very least, Canada tariffs get into play tomorrow at midnight. It's just a question of that extra 25% that Trump put on the table and then took off all today. Yeah, those contracts bounced already. I had one, but I'm just holding the first one from the bottom tick, still up 120, man. That one was crazy. Met C. The trading fraternity logo is a Cybertruck? No, it kind of looks like it, though, if you think about it. Holy shit, Elon did copy the logo. It does look like a Cybertruck. But yeah, I have a Cybertruck with the logo on it, which is kind of wild. Yeah, you haven't seen my Cybertruck? Go to my Instagram. It's dope. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, dude, that's funny. You're right. Bro, this is like the Republican version of the Bud Light thing, but with Teslas. Yo, is it? That's it. That's great. Elon retweeted my post. I don't think he did, man. I don't think he did. But either way, if he did, I would tell him, "You Nazi." No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to say that to him. Yeah, but why are you lying to me, though, about that? That's weird. That's a weird lie. So, do you want to pay me or do you want me to ban you? How do you want to do this, Mr. Axel? Because now you made me look at my Twitter when I wouldn't. So, How do you want to do this? Yeah. Do you want to pay me to not get banned, or should I just ban you and then you save your money? So we'll see. It's on my Twitter. No, it's not on my Twitter. How much? No specified amount. Just it's kind of just more of the principle. You know what I'm saying? You can see it. I don't see it still. So, are you not going to pay? Is that what you're telling me? So I think we're just going to... FDA posted 6 warning labels to companies responsible for introducing unapproved dissolving injectable products into interstate commerce. Amazon, Fox Pharma, Hilarion, and Glow Nest Beauty. You got him? No, it doesn't work like that. Like I said, it's more of the principle. You'll send me an email? Okay. Well, until then, you better hurry, because I'm going to ban you. I've already banned you in my mind. Yeah, dude, the premiums went up 100%. Because if you bottom ticked it, it's already, like, crazy. That's why I think it was. That's what I really think happened. I think the premiums from the bottom just ran up so much, and then now it's kind of awkward. Shows that you reposted an Elon repost. So this guy's just a boomer and doesn't know how to use Twitter then? Well, I didn't ban him. I'm waiting for the email, but like I said, in my mind, I kind of already banned him. I'm like, all right, well, it's a waste of time. New Mercedes-Benz CEO, North America. You should have got the stream alerts if you signed up by Friday. Email now, and you'll be good. Some people, it's instant. Some of you guys, depending on your phone service, it's not. But email through where you signed up. That has all the answers. Stream alerts is first link in the description. Trump says we want to cut the people who aren't doing the job. That sucks. We're going to get him, like, he's probably going to go live when the market ends. I like Merc. Merc struggled a little bit, but that's a good value name. I know, Boeing, dude. If you kept those calls, I think you would have made a lot. I bought them in honor of Bradley Frizzle, and it worked. It worked, man. I'm in the chat. What up, Anthony? How you doing, baby? Musk, he says, I think he'll know when it's time to stop. All love, want to thank you for being there. Become a big part of your life. I wanted to ask, can we get a live performance of my newly released songs? The only song that I've released lately was Liberals and Preachers. If you're talking about my uncle has never done a live performance, unless it's on, like, Instagram. Like, you randomly could catch him, like, randomly. All right, there's your little pop. Oh, those calls are too up. Call premiums held from this little bottom. That little bottom jacks up the premiums for whatever move here. Brazil asks U.S. to delay tariffs on steel and aluminum. And then UK Starmer welcomes agreement on Jeddah. Congratulates Trump and Zelensky for remark. It's all Ukraine headlines, bro. That's what it is. It's UK now is putting out a statement on Ukraine, and you're getting that pop once again. now it came back down. So see if that holds up, though. I think low key the market has liked all of these. It's liked all of these headlines about peace. Peace. Honestly, I need to play you a song. I haven't played you one today. Canada says if U.S. moves ahead with tariffs on March 12th, we will be ready to respond firmly and proportionately. Finance Minister spokesperson. All right. Wow.
Some people don't even have dreams. You know what I'm saying? But if you're blessed enough to have a dream, chase it, bro.
I had a dream like Martin, then I heard a couple stories. Never met my heroes, never had one. Never wanted things I never had, son. I got it, then I grabbed them. Looking back, these bitches Southie said them. Good more, don't ignore your sword for the war. Armor's no good if you leave that shit at home. I don't care if that match up with the drum. I ain't young, I ain't care about looking dumb. Out my way, we could talk when I'm done. Does it look like I'm finished? Even if I was, dog, I do my own dishes. Why the fuck you in my business? I ain't tryna be a menace. Need a couple minutes, but you're talking in your bitch and just show me that you don't get it. Look, now I wasted your time trying to reprimand, explain the basic shit so you could understand. I ain't being mean the way I teach. The big leagues ain't throwing underhand. Not the bad guy, I'm the best coach that you ever had. Something like LaMelo's dad. Mama was an immigrant, $5 an hour working with Brillo pads. We got some things we shouldn't have, so I could feel down, but I don't ever think I'm really sad. Life a miracle, but I won't give you one. But I could teach you shit, and you'll walk away with dividends. Wish you'll buy more, and then you'll wish you did it young. You missed the first harvest, but tell me about the second one. Trying to build while looking at the clouds. I'm looking at my hand, then I'm looking at the ground. Peter walked on water, but fell. When he looked around, I heard that story all my life. I think I start to get it now. Slow in the fast lane, answers in my last name. They really didn't listen, that's a damn shame. But that don't mean my plans changed. Maybe just the landscape did what I said without a handshake. 3,004 an ounce, that sound like a fair rate. Word is gold, they only kept it too late. So I'm on with your new face. A snake can move a few ways. And life a bitch that lie by how the fruit tastes.
Alright, word. Alright, you guys, I have a question for you. It's kind of funny. It's kind of a joke, but can I ask? Will you guys get mad at me? Yeah, probably. But it's okay. So here's the deal. Are you ready? Does anybody in here have 3 or more baby mamas? I know, odd question. Maybe I should put it on non-members only, but you never know. Does anybody in here have 3 or more baby mamas? Does anybody? You got 2. You don't even have 3 friends. Wow, I feel. You got 4, really? You got 3? You got 2? You got 3? Wow. So here's the deal. Honestly, bro, even for you guys who got 2, if you could convince a girl to be baby mama number 3, you should be selling houses. You should be in real estate, okay? So this is motivation. And so if you have 2 or more baby moms and you have that game, let me fund your real estate career. Come on. Seriously, stop playing around. I think you're going to do excellent. I think you have a set of skills you may not realize. No, man, it's facts, bro. It's facts. So I don't know if that opened up a door, but I'm just saying it's. You may laugh, you may like, but I have a point. It's accurate. It's accurate. I'm closer than I am further. I know somebody's like, you right, man. You right. But still accepting agents? Not unless you have 2 or more baby mamas. Not that's we're closed unless you have that certain criteria because you might be a little bit more, I don't know, you might have more sales techniques and skills naturally. I didn't make a move on pizza. I remember we played it that one time. Or no, I wanted to play it. But Russia, we do not rule out contacts with U.S. representatives over the next few days. So Russia is confirming they're going to be talking to your boy. So that's all in the game. Thank you. I wouldn't be on my LT if I didn't find a TTF SGD, baby. Big time games. Let's go. Buy a house, end a year. Anytime, bro. Anytime. When the moment arises. And if the moment arises, at least we'll be ready. You know what I'm saying? It was better to have it and not need it. Trump delayed the live now. Boo. We weren't going to make it anyways. So, yeah. That's why I was like, dude, I thought we were going to, what happened to the tech CEOs? We were supposed to have the CEOs, I think JP Morgan, all of them. Everybody was real hush-hush about it, but I guess we'll find out. Let me fund your real estate deal. Oh, you're a loan originator. Oh, man, yeah, you should have linked up with us a while ago, bro. So we have a couple of lenders, but I'm always down to work with more, man. Shoot an email, and we'll get you in touch. Again, we are trying to build one of the biggest real estate networks. It's already pretty big, but we need more. I need more. Should I fix my credit or invest more in the long term? Pay yourself first and then fix your credit and then let it all work. Because usually credit debt is high. So you could fix credit, and that's different than paying off high balances. But, yeah, I mean, it's not bad to have good credit. So, but I wouldn't be, I would pay yourself first and then get a strategy to pay down debt. But credit is important for our goals. You need, again, income and credit are what we will need at real estate. But number one, income will be it when it's all said and done. The harvest is plenty. The workers are few. NVO for the long term. A couple you bought it. I think today was a 52-week low. Cigna's selling off. What was it? NIV. NVO, Verizon. Got a Baxter call. We'll let it slide. Oh, good, man. Good. Long term. Pfizer's a little bit higher. Should I ruin my credit to save my business? Why? Why does the credit have to be ruined? But then, like, if you ruin your credit, can the business still fail? So unless it's like a guarantee, I mean, it just all depends. And I don't know, these situations, when it comes down to that, it really depends on you. So, like, are you a crackhead or not? Like, are you, like, what's riding on it? Why did it fail? Like, you have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? And, like, you know, if you put all your chips in, are you going to perform or are you going to capitulate? But if I was going to take any big risk, I'd have to know the level of, you know, probability of it actually working. GM popping a little bit, and then MSTR. Zoom dump. You opened the restaurant in 2019. I mean, you could email me, but I need all of the details, but that doesn't matter when you opened it. Because, again, here's the deal. You could go ruin your credit, but if your business is failing because of bad spending habits, all you're doing is feeding yourself more money to spend poorly. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it would be better to find out and address the problem. You know, whether it's demand, is it Is it spending? Is it sourcing in the margins? Like, there has to be some reason or a confluence, but last thing you want to do is invest into a dysfunctional system. So you want to make sure you smooth that out before doing any of that. U.S. Government Employee Union in court is filing, asking judge to stop USAID from shredding records. Or? Yeah, remember we had that ABC headline? They said USAID was just like shredding a bunch of documents and like using burn bags. They sent out an email, and now somebody's asking that they get stopped. What a day, bro. What a day. Why are they shredding records? Because it's like kryptonite for Nazis. So like if you didn't know, like Nazis can't go near shredded records if you've played Call of Duty. So like the more records you shred, they could keep it away from Elon. So then that way Elon will be like, no, we'll let you fund it. I can't go near all these shredded documents. Oh, you're probably super innocent. Oh, I should stay away. And then that's what happens. So it's like a Nazi deterrent, I think. I don't know. I'd have to fact check it. I'm not too versed at this. BlackRock owns everything. How come their market cap is low? You got to stay low key, bro. I mean, they've gone through stuff. They own voting rights and they own portions, but I don't know if they derive their, they don't, it's not like they sell these shares. You know what I'm saying? It's not like BlackRock sells Amazon for income. So you could own a lot of companies. Doesn't mean you get income. David Stahl. David, he's becoming the Father Edgar. We have many fathers. We have Father Charlie came first, then Father Edgar. And I think Father David, he might be at 100 members at this point, bro. I don't know, man. It's getting kind of wild. Oh, no. Amen. Amen. The Total Wireless fact them? No. That's how it's either funny or like an Elizabeth Warren commercial. Yeah, they manage the assets, not own them. They own it. Well, they have a lot of voting rights, but even then, I don't think it equates to like income. Yeah, their clients own them. But they do have the voting rights. That's the crazy part. All right, man. 10-minute rigged in 10 seconds. I have a play I want on the call side, but it's too expensive. I'm going to hold the one we got at the bottom. Great day today, Chad. We killed it, bro. I had one play. Let me see if it came up. I only had one play not go green today. Yeah, it's still down. That was a Nike play. I did that in the morning. I thought that would have been like a ghetto value, but it didn't hit. So I missed one today, but every other trade was green. We hit a bunch of SPYs, Boeing, TLT, and that's it. And then Snowflake. Added some UPS. Nice. Tradingfraternity@gmail.com is the email, baby. Jaina Goldmovin, NTSB to testify on fatal airplane jet collision on March 27th. Oh, shit. There's a little bit of Trump. They got him.
He has 5 of them. Yeah. He thinks it's and he was a big guy for Ferraris and other things.
Trump was outside.
Says, man, it blows them away.
Yeah, here it is.
I know other people, they have 3, 4, they love him. They love him. And I was waiting for a call.
He's talking to Teslas.
Call yet? They said, no, sir. The next day, what about Elon? Did he call? He never even mentioned it to me, never complained until this moment.
Okay, 10-minute rig, SPY going down. Google investing $750 million in Anthropic.
And he's built this great company, and he shouldn't be penalized because he's a patriot. He's an incredible patriot, and I don't even know if he's a Republican.
What's your reaction to the stock market drop today?
Well, I'm not sure if it was.
Tesla stock is
you're gonna
also
have drops, and markets are going to go up, and they're going to go down.
Yeah, that I don't know if market's reacting to this, but that's 10-minute rig.
It's been stripped of its jobs, of its factories, and I'm tired of seeing where they build apartments, cheap apartments in an old broken down factory. But you have factories all over the place that are empty from many decades ago, and we're going to change it around. And it's all taxing policy. You know, it's really a policy because we have great workers, great people. It's really a policy of taxing and incentives. And I'm bringing the incentives back. And I'll tell you what, numerous plants, and I don't want to mention specifically, but I'll mention this one, numerous plants.
The volumes will cup your ears. You guys know that? Watch. Take your hands and put them behind your ears and make a cup, and you'll hear a lot better. I learned that as a child. Isn't it crazy? You just created headphones naturally. Isn't that dope? Serious, put your hands behind your ears and like cup them, and then wow, do you see how much louder everything is? Isn't that crazy? I feel like I'm yelling now.
Economy in history in my first 4 years, I would have done very well with this one, and I had a decision to make. Do I want to do this, or do
You're like
I
a
not?
deer.
Do I want to do it right? The right thing to do is what we're doing. We're going to get our jobs back.
Yeah, you guys didn't know that? I've been doing that for like 2 decades. Easy. Easy.
Canada, and I respect very much. As you know, there's a very strong man in Canada who said he was going to charge a surcharge or a tariff on electricity coming into our country. He has called and he said he's not going to do that. Okay, he's not going to do that. And it would have been a very
At least he was nice to him. He said a strong man.
I respect that.
I respect
we
that.
were just informed that he's not going to do that. Look, we've been treated very unfairly by Canada. We've been treated very unfairly by Mexico. But we've been treated very unfairly by every country all over the world. The European Union is horrible, horrible. And we're going to get it back. And I have a choice. I could just coast, and eventually there'd be a blow-up down the road, maybe a long way. But we owe $36 trillion, and we're going to get it back. We're the biggest, we're the best, and I'm very optimistic. I have to tell you, I'm very optimistic about the country. Much more optimistic this way than if I did it the easy way. Yeah. I could have done it the easy way. I could have coasted. Biden left us a mess. He left us tremendous inflation, tremendously high costs of products. He left us a mess, but he also left us a mess with millions of people that poured into our country that are criminals. Millions of those people happen to be criminals. And we're looking for them all over the place. We're looking for them in Holman and Christie.
You already heard all this. You're watching it live, but remember, we already got you all of these comments. I think the fascinating part in the last week, remember on Friday, that shit was live, bro. So some of these aren't live, some of them are. So that's going to be the tricky part moving forward.
But very importantly, and I said it, Ukraine, ceasefire, Ukraine, ceasefire. Just agreed to a little while ago. Now we have to go to Russia and hopefully President Putin will agree to that also, and we can get this show on the road. We can get this horrible war where 2,000-3,000 soldiers a week, every week, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 sometimes. I get the reports.
And they're pricing in about $8 for tomorrow.
Ukrainian and they're
oh shit! So 1.5% priced in for tomorrow.
People are being killed in the cities as things explode throughout the cities. And we want to get that war over with. So I think it's a very big. I think it's a big difference between the last visit.
So 570, 563. Damn, that's crazy then. Whoa.
And hopefully Russia will agree to it. We're going to meet with them.
Yeah, bro. So they're pricing. Nah, this is deceptive as fuck. The chain is pricing in 1.5 for tomorrow. But that doesn't even make sense because then the other rest of the chain is still like it's pricing in way more than that. So that's why it's like it's 1.5, but you still like the other premiums right now are still so high. Your break even 1.5% away is really 4% away. Very odd. So the IV is just kind of tweaky, bro. Blame the VIX. Even though it came down, but still above 27.
Friends of mine and great businessmen, they're now investing because of what I'm doing. Because long term, what I'm doing is making our country strong.
It's because the VIX is high, but it's not high enough to cause a dip, like a real, pretty much. As VIX below 30 but above 25 is a bad thing, usually. So fun fact.
We didn't have October 7th. We didn't have that disaster that took place with the withdrawal from Afghanistan. And you look at what's happened there. We caught the major terrorist, which Biden wouldn't have caught. Why didn't he catch him? I caught him. 5 weeks into the presidency, I caught.
Sir, my hand's up. Pick me. Oh, you just dumped all of it. They hate you. We should have bought those 560s, but you still would have lost. Because look, there's only 4 minutes left. So yeah, that's why tomorrow, once you get to like 10, 11, start putting towards the next day.
Situation with eggs. The price of eggs was through the roof. Well,
eggs.
Now the price of eggs has come down a lot. Interest rates have come down. Gasoline prices have come down. It's all coming down. It's all a beautiful thing. I can do it the right way or the wrong way. We're doing it the right way. And I have tremendous confidence in this country and the people of this country. Tremendous confidence.
I do too.
So
I love all of this, you guys. You know that? The first time someone's like, yo, we're going to fuck everything up to bring real change. And y'all cry. I don't care if stocks go down. That's coming from Stock Market Live. Yeah, I hope all of you get stocks. That's why. And get property. Amen.
Thank you. By the way, he makes one car. This one I don't understand. This one I don't want, but that's okay. Without a steering wheel. It comes out next year.
I see Trump. I feel you, bro. Amen, Trump. He said, I don't want the one without a steering wheel. That's dumb. Put a steering wheel, Elon. Come on. Put the wheel.
Actually not have a steering wheel. It will not have pedals. It'll either self-drive or not drive at all. But it'll self-drive.
President Trump. And I'm going to pass on that particular.
Yeah, I like that. See, look at that.
You bought a new car.
Well, I buy
That's a Tesla in reverse.
Through my children,
You hear that?
because they run the company now. I used to buy a lot. I haven't bought a new car in a long time.
What was your first car?
The only thing I know is the Beast. I got a
The Beast.
car with very thick windows and thick side panels.
Is that going electric?
We buy a lot of cars. Actually, I bought this one for Kai.
You mentioned the Ontario Premier calling
ABM on the low, but Chad, wrap it up. You only have 1 minute.
Will you reduce it down? He was a gentleman. Look, I said it before. We give Canada $200 billion a year. We subsidize Canada between all of the things we
Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Shares, options, futures. Wrap it up. A couple of earnings. CPI tomorrow. We will be live early. You might have to be a member, though. But we're going to be live early. Other than that, Chad, less than 15 seconds. Wrap it up. Bring it home. And that's it, man. Less than 10 seconds remaining.
We wouldn't have a tariff problem. They don't have much. They spend very little, as you know.
3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Oh no. Oh, Chad, Adonia. Let's go. GG's while Trump is talking. Give me that good game, baby. We did it. We made it. 7 hours in the books. And honestly, man, thank you all for being here and being a part of the community, upholding the culture and not getting banned. I'm not the easiest person to deal with, but that means if you made it, brother, oh my goodness. Oh my, that should say a lot. So another good day, baby. A lot of good plays, a lot of good info. I'll check you on the watch list tonight. But God bless you all. And thank you, man, for real. All the donos, y'all didn't have to. All the members, you kind of have to now, or you could have just walked away. But either way, bro, you know the mission. And don't forget, we need the property, bro. The goal, we will never be wage slaves. Even if we are a wage slave today, it doesn't matter. We have a bigger goal. It don't matter about today, baby. Tell them. Give me that GG, baby.
It's 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds.
See, look what you did, liberals. You had to shit on Elon, and now we have an Elon fucking commercial in front of the White House. All because so Elon took away your money. Y'all fucking shit talk Elon, and now you got a fucking White House ass commercial with a bunch of fucking Teslas.
But I appreciated his call.
Look at that. Look at that. That's crazy.
Whoa. Should I get in?
Should I get in?
Okay.
Have you ever sat?
Let me get in.
Gosh. See, you guys, this reminds me of Biden with Mary Ibarra. The difference is that Elon is actually good at making electric vehicles, and they're not just giving him a bunch of money to start a trend that has already died. But yeah, that's it. Other than that, though, this gives me Hummer. It's fat. Yeah, this is like the Hummer. Yeah, you remember when they brought the Hummer? How do I rev the engine?
Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow.
That was his way of saying this is. No, I'm sorry. I can't believe it. Has the president really never not been in a Tesla? You know what I'm saying? Because he probably thought Elon was a Democrat for a long time.
Can you start it?
I don't think he's ever. You think he's ever been in one of these things? Yeah, because he's acting like my mom, bro. You know my mom, the first time she saw the fucking Cybertruck, bro? She's tripped. She's like, what is this? Wow, it's so like a computer. It's like a computer. Wow, how you the wheel? It look like, wow. I remember he got one from Aiden, but I think he's seen the Cybertruck, but like a normal Tesla.
This is really amazing.
It's really amazing. Mr. President, this vehicle is about 15 years old. Just thought I'd let you know. It is amazing, but it's not new. Just if you didn't know. Yeah. I think that's the first time he's been inside a Tesla in the last 2 decades, to be honest with you.
Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that.
I will do that.
We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did a very big favor for the NFL. I do favors for all of them.
So hypothetically speaking, then, if we arrange the stock squeeze on Tesla, are we stopping domestic terrorism? President, I would like an answer, because I could set it up. If you guys, I don't know, is that true? Would that be like a patriotic stock squeeze?
They're the same guys that screw around with our schools and universities, the same garbage. And no, we're going to catch them.
I know he should have brought the Model X, right? Everybody loves the butterfly doors. I swear that's the only reason I own that vehicle. When it first came out, that was the only reason to buy that car.
Well, I have a round table to make in a little while. I just consider this much more important because I want to buy one of these. My whole staff is so excited because I told them they're going to safely use them, and they can't believe it. So, Margot, wherever you are, Margot.
He looks younger today.
They're all going to be using
He looks young in the sun.
and they're going to have a good time.
This is weird. He honestly changes looks like Biden, too. Sometimes he looks more orange, sometimes younger, older, a little bit more turkey neck, but other than that, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the sun. Yeah, he looks good right now. No Besset, no Besset. Navarro, cooler heads prevailed with Ontario.
Specifically on the recession. Do you think there will be a recession?
I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said, I can.
Again, you had all these headlines already.
The hard way to do it is exactly what I'm doing, but the results are going to be 20 times greater. And remember, Trump is always right. You look at what I've said over the last 10 years. Trump has been right all the time. This is the way to do it. We're going to make America great again. You know, to make it great, you have to have jobs, you have to have factories, you have to have. I look at some of the things that, like this last administration, he was the worst president in the history of our country. Nothing was happening. Nothing. He had no idea what was going on. Our country went to hell. And then to allow millions of people to come in that are prisoners and mental institution patients and all of the things, gang members, drug lords, we're searching them all down now, trying to get them out of our country. And we're going to do that. But on the financial end and the economic end, what we're doing is, to me, it's the most exciting. Our country will be greater than ever before, and it won't take too long.
And what's your message to Americans right now, sir, who are worried about the stock market? What's your message to them as they watch it?
He said, hold on, bitch. He just walked away. He said, hold up. Let's check this fucking autopilot out.
This is bulletproof.
Oh, yeah, so like, it's an autopilot. What's it do? It's an autopilot. I mean, like, and yeah, we gotta save money. That's the big thing. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Save a lot of money.
That is the coolest design.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Brian? I mean,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah, very.
Give
Yeah.
him credit.
It's we want the future to look like the future. And it's kind of
We want the future to look like the future. That's what we're gonna do. Make it look like the future. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
It's really amazing.
It's very amazing. Yeah, it's very amazing. Oh yeah.
While working with President Trump, is there any thinking on your future
Oh,
at
yeah.
the company? As we're talking about Tesla, I'm wondering what your thinking is with leading the company going forward.
Yeah.
Elon, like, respectfully looked like a Roblox character.
Your thoughts on the market?
You know what I'm saying? From like body build to like clothing choice. Because the other day my nephew showed me his Roblox character, and I feel like Elon did the same exact thing.
That didn't concern you, and where do you see it
Doesn't
going?
concern me. I think some people are going to make great deals.
Because like even the hat looked very like, you know what I'm saying? Like my hats don't fit like that.
I think we're going to have
Like,
an economy that's a real economy.
You know what I'm saying? Like my hat does not like pop up like that and like stay up like that, like with like a nice like slight 90-degree angle by the bill. I don't have that.
Way down. That's going to continue. Those are real jobs. Those are jobs that keep the country going. You can't have all government jobs. You have no income to pay the workers.
Yeah.
And a lot of those workers didn't show up to work. That was the other problem.
And President Trump, there's this protest leader from Columbia University that the administration is moving to deport. And he said that his arrest is going to be the first of many. How many?
I think we ought to get them all out of the country. They're troublemakers. They're agitators. They don't love our country. We ought to get them the hell out. I think that guy we ought
Yeah,
to get
Zivra has
him
earnings.
statements, too, that were
Oh, I
pretty
forgot
bad.
about that.
And I think we ought to get him the hell out of the country.
It was up at
I watched
8
them. I
something
watched
this
tapes
morning.
Specifically, I watched tapes. And you can have them, okay? You can have them. And you can have the rest of them. Let them go to school. let
They
them learn.
beat
Columbia
revenue.
used to be a good school.
R&D was
They
less.
overrun because of bad
EPS was
That's what
worse.
happens to countries, and it happens to universities, and it happens to
And they
companies.
took out
And I
their
don't want it
going
to happen to a
concern
guy that
disclosure because of the
did nothing wrong.
PRV
He did
sale.
everything right because he did a great company.
They have
But
cash
what he
runway
did
till
by coming into
2029.
government to help government from years of abuse, from decades of abuse. And you see that when you look
Yeah,
at
good
Social
earnings
Security, we
by
have
Zivra.
100-year-old people on the rolls of society. That's just, he uses the word care. People don't care. Everyone knows that. But it's also, I believe it's also large fraud. I think it's that, but I think it's also large fraud.
And
So I'm just telling people, this man is a great patriot, and you should cherish him. You should cherish him. You know, I have a little statement. We have to take care of our high IQ people because we don't have too many of them. And we got to take care of them.
And as you guys look at the Social Security Administration and you guys are looking for fraud and waste and abuse, can you guarantee people who are concerned about an interruption to benefits that there will not be?
Trump trade advisor Navarro asked friends in Canada to tamp down rhetoric.
Only by tackling the waste and fraud in entitlements like Social Security, Medicare, can we actually preserve those programs for the future. Because with unchecked fraud and waste, we won't be able to afford them. The president's very dedicated to solving
All right, boys.
the budget deficit.
I'm done with
Which if we
this.
don't solve the budget
Got a little
deficit,
bit of
we'll go
earnings,
bankrupt
but
as a country. We'll go bankrupt as a
yeah, we
country.
got this. I'm
Without
gonna let you
Social
listen
Security,
on your own.
give us no nothing.
We gotta go, especially if you want to watch this, baby. But I love you. God bless America, Chad. And don't forget why we're here. Why we keep going. Why that faith, hope, and love ain't ever going out of style. And why you're here. So that down the line in the future, You will not have to rely on anybody for wages, and you will have capital. And there is a good way you could do it and provide and have a good benefit for the world and community, baby. Why, baby? Why? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. Amen. Amen. I'm hyped, bro. We have so much time now, too. That's it, daylight saving. So we'll see on Watchlist, either main channel, the trading fraternity, or this channel. Maybe we go live if things go crazy. But get ready for CPI tomorrow morning. I love you all, baby. And for real, man, thank you for not getting banned. And thank you for those of you who provided, bro. And y'all see it even during PHILO, man. Let's keep getting it, baby. And, you know, if he allows it, that's it. It's just we just getting blessed, baby. Just that's it. So work hard, baby. Harvest is plenty. I love you, Chad, and peace. Yeah, there's 2 channels. I give you you go here. And then you go to second link. Right there. Boom. Oh, no. Third link. One, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, ladies. Look, you go trading fraternity. That guy, right? That's me. That's not me. It's Josh. He said, but still, you go there, you watch it, and you click the video. You watch it, tell you to play. Look, he told you not to buy the out of the money. Where to put play. We're showing the puts, Josh. Come on, look, he saved you money. Yeah. All right, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Josh, that's good. See you later, bro. See you later. But yeah, that's it. What do you mean that's it, Josh? Where's Elon? Hello? It's a good car. Yeah. You gotta protect him. He's a patriot. Ever since Donald Trump, I tweet retard. You can't say that. But now I can say it. I'm Elon Musk, and I prove this message. He's a genius. You gotta protect the high IQ. High IQ. Have a good one. Goodbye.